going to Tennessee on this one.
Eureka.
We make plays every day, yeah. 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 We make plays every day, yeah.
Jamaicans.
Yeah. We make plays every day, yeah. We make plays every day, yeah.
Hey.
Every day, yeah.
Welcome to the Real Fantasy Playmakers. I am your host, Bogart Scott Free, Jamaicans. And I want to introduce a very special guest. They just happen to have had me on their podcast, maybe a couple episodes back. It's one half of Hot Take Cold Turkey. My man, Drew. What's happening, Drew?
Hey, what's going on, my man?
Man, you know what I'm saying? Just I was kind of telling you this story off air, but you know what I'm saying? I'm running down the stairs and my little man had left a little landmine, a little toy car. I had slipped on that joint, busted my ass, something vicious. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, man, you know what I'm saying? But other than that, I couldn't wait to have this drink because I don't really believe in pain pills and shit like that. I'll just go ahead and pour me a drink. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
Right? How about you, man? How you doing?
Man, I'm doing good. Second podcast of the day. I'm feeling good.
Yeah, that's right. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Rum Boy Rodney. Shout out to the Admiral. I know he had just graced the podcast, the Hot Take Cold Turkey. You know what I'm saying? And today we're definitely gonna cover some Tennessee Titans because my man Drew here, he's the Tennessee Titan himself. He hails.
Tighten up.
Yep, tighten up. He hails all the way from Oakland, Tennessee, correct?
The city's called Murfreesboro.
Murfreesboro. Okay, yes. I'm sorry. Thank you for correcting me. It won't happen again. You know what I'm saying?
It's all good, bro.
All right, well, check this out. Before we get to all that good Tennessee Titan 2020 outlook, and, we are definitely going to break down the schedule and kind of give our little predictions. But before we get to all that, you know what I'm saying? We're just going to go ahead and handle this quick housekeeping. Follow me at the GMM Network on IG and Twitter. Follow me at Bogard Scott Free World on IG. And also want to shout out to our sponsor, Milk and Honey TX. For all your CBD wellness and all your CBD goodness, go to milkandhoneytx.com. I definitely went and rubbed some of that topical on my arm that I fell on, busting my ass, running down the stairs and shit. And that shit feels phenomenal, you know what I mean? Like I did say, I don't believe in pain pills and stuff like that, but this CBD product, woo, like, you know what I'm saying? That's legit, Playmakers. You know what I'm saying? Because, my shit was fucked up for a second there. Anyways, also want to shout out to the Rum Boys official sponsor, Monkey Knife Fight. Go ahead, monkeyknifefight.com. Make an account, use promo code RUMBOYS, that's RUMBOYS with a Z, all capitals, RUMBOYZ, promo code RUMBOYS, and with your first deposit, we'll match that joint all the way up to $50. So if you drop 50, you get that hundo. Don't fuck around, put like $7 and get 14. No. Fuck around and put $50 and get that 100. UFC's coming back, all sports are coming back. You're going to want to get in on this good DFS action. Go to monkeyknifefight.com, make an account, use promo code RUMBOYS, and we'll match your first deposit all the way up to $50. You know what I'm saying? Also, go to rumboys.com, and that's where you can find all the latest and greatest articles from the innovative journalists, sports writers, whatever you want to call them. They're just fucking phenomenal, bro. We got all the ill. We covering everything, all that ill content. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're a blog lover, you know what I'm saying? That's where you need to be. Rumboys.com. Also, hit that pirate ship in that apparel section. Go ahead and order you some drip. That's where you're gonna find all the official merch. You know what I'm saying? Visit rumboys.com. All right, Drew, go ahead. One half of the Hot Take Cold Turkey podcast. Let them know where they can find you and where they can find the podcast.
Yeah, for sure. You can find us on Instagram at hottake_cold turkey. You can also find us on Twitter at HTCT Podcast. You can find all of our podcasts, Hot Take Cold Turkey, over on Anchor or Spotify.
Yeah. Oh shit! Oh, it's funny because I'm like, yo, that's a time where I'm supposed to hit Jamaican horns, ain't I? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what? It might be a tad bit late, but Jamaicans. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Okay,
also,
well, shit. Before we get, what's that?
We're dropping a YouTube channel pretty soon, so be on the lookout for that.
Oh yeah, you know what I'm saying? You know I'm gonna go ahead and help promote that. You know what I mean? And also Playmakers, fun fact. Hot take cold turkey, our man Drew, and shout out to Eric, you know what I'm saying? They are affiliates of our man BWB, Blitzed with Blake, you know what I'm saying? And we are all under the mighty Rum Boys umbrella. And I for one, sir, I like being on the same squad as all y'all, man. It's fun, man. We're all like-minded individuals, you know what I'm saying? And we just, man, it's what it's about, man. It's supporting each other. And we got one hell of a squad, man. So you know what? Let's get right into it. Before we get to the Tennessee Titans, I definitely want to know I want the Playmakers to know a little more about you. You know what I'm saying? And basically how Hot Take Cold Turkey came about.
Yeah, for sure. So my co-host Eric and I, we're roommates freshman year and sophomore year of college.
So there was a lot of indulging going on for sure.
Oh yeah, I could name countless stories where Eric and I are about to go to bed, and then something will just pop into my head, and I just gotta, hey Eric, hot take or cold turkey? The Titans are about to go to the Super Bowl, because I was hyped. We're about to play the Chiefs, and anytime something like that came to our head, we just said it out loud and just debated it, and we would go on for hours just talking about sports and what we thought and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it got to the point where we did a road trip. I was on the basketball team, and Eric came on as our manager. So we had a road trip from Wisconsin all the way to Minnesota, and we're staying up in the Minnesota.
There you go.
So we're staying up at a hotel, and Eric and I roomed together, and so it was like normal nights. We were just talking sports and shit, and a couple guys were like, man, y'all just need to fuck around and make a podcast. And then I told Eric, like, man, Hot Take Cold Turkey, that could be like, I think that could be like a great idea. Yeah, exactly.
And it's such an original name. It's such an original name because, I mean, listen, I'm not knocking anyone who has fantasy in their titles. I mean, for God's sakes, this program right here on the GMM network is called The Real Fantasy Playmakers. But it's like Hot Take Cold Turkey. It's 100% original. You know what I mean? And matter of fact, like I'm an advocate for like when I'm, scrolling through something, it really has to jump at me. And I would definitely click on Hot Take Cold Turkey if I seen that. I'd be like, let's see what this is about. You know what I mean? Like shout out to my man, the Fantasy Fornicator. He's been on the podcast a few times, and that's the same way I found his content. First of all, his fucking content's phenomenal. But when I was scrolling through, I was like, "Ooh, Fantasy Fornicator, that's interesting." Click that. You know what I mean? Like,
definitely.
And then that's the same way I feel about Hot Take Cold Turkey. I was like, you know what I mean? If I didn't meet you through the pretenses we did, like or circumstances that we did already, I probably would have stumbled upon your content eventually. You know what I mean? Just because.
Well, I appreciate that because like exactly what you said, it was so natural in the way like the name came about and the way we do our podcast, and it just so happened that Eric. I know you talked with Blake about this. He knew Blake from working with him, and Blake dropped a podcast, and Eric and I went from, because we were just bullshitting about it, it's been like a year now in the works where we're just like, oh yeah, dude, Hot Take Cold Turkey, we're going to make that a podcast.
I know how that goes, man. That same thing happened to me with the GMM network where it was like, I knew I was going to do this, and like, I already made music, so I had all the equipment. It wasn't nothing, you know what I mean? But then like, it was really just like, you find out that it's actual fucking work. You know what I mean? Like, all the schematics that go behind starting something. And then when you finally get started, you're like, yes, I'm here now. You know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah, definitely. And it's, shout out to Eric because he's doing most of the behind the scenes stuff, he's been very passionate about this, just like I am. And we're far apart. He's in Wisconsin. I'm in Utah. So we can't really get together and edit or that kind of thing. So every time we record, Eric goes in and edits it and puts it out. And then we both, I'm usually the one taking care of the Twitter side. He's He's part of the Instagram Hot Take Cold Turkey.
Yeah. No,
So when
that's
he
awesome
edits it,
because
puts-
you divide and conquer. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Exactly.
I was always taught. Listen. I admire people that are the jack of all trades, but I always was like, build a team, play people's strengths. That way, we could fill every position with somebody that's their strength, and then I can zero in on the one thing that's my strength. You know what I mean? And that's how I
Yeah.
always approached music. Like I always wanted to be a rapper and an artist, but I had to run a label and do all this other shit. As soon as we started getting a little bigger, you know, I was able to put people in place, like in position. You know what I mean? Like, okay, now you're handling all the bookings. You're handling all the you're the treasurer. You're the you're the engineer. Where it's like, now I got this thing, a well-oiled machine, and I could just be a goddamn artist. You know what I mean? Because even though I'm running the thing, you know, and I'm talking about this when I have my own label, because now I'm a part of a label where it's like, I really can just be the artist. And I love that because I know the headache it is running some shit. But at the same time, because of my history, I'm able to work in this type of industry because, you know, there is some egos that you'll run into, you know what I mean? And or even like me and my co-host, we're always arguing. We're both Niner fans and we argue like shit about our Niners. And it's like, but see, that's what you need anyway. I didn't want us to be both agreeing all the time. Like, yes, you're correct. I concur. Like, no, fuck that. We need to argue. You know what I mean? We wanted to take that real life conversation aspect, just like you said. You guys would be up late nights, you know, hey, hot take, cold turkey. You guys are having these debates, and it was like, you know, being able to successfully translate that type of conversation to a podcast. I mean, that's what it's all about. And I think you guys I think it's seamless. You know what I mean? Because I have listened to a number of your guys' episodes. I was on the debut one, you know what I mean, which was fucking awesome. Well, it wasn't quite the debut; it was the second episode, but it was the first full-length episode, correct?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you hear that, Playmakers? I'm part of Hot Take Cold Turkey history. You feel me?
We had to start off with a bang, and we're like, I need to get my guy Bogart in here
Yeah.
and start spitting some facts for my fans.
Yeah, man, and I appreciate it because I had a blast. I remember I was drinking vodka and beers. I run out of everything. I probably did one of the best ideas I could do, and I cracked this bottle of wine because I was so amped up. And when I started drinking this wine, it started, you know, smoothing me out, relaxing me a little bit because, you know, it is like you know, I do have to get used to that sometimes when I'm on like a panel of more than two people. You know what I mean? Like, you know, on the Rum Boys After Dark, sometimes I'm like, I'll just wait till they call my name because I'm just going to blurt shit out all crazy. You know, because we're sitting there getting faded and like, I've legit been, microdosing mushrooms like for like consecutive weeks on the show. So it's like, and it actually helps me like stay focused, you know what I mean? But you know, I'm just a modern day hippie. So that, you know, I always shroom when I'm grocery shopping even. I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Mushrooms give me money, you know what I mean?
That must be quite the adventure.
Oh yeah, you know what I'm saying? I mean, and I'm all about adventuring, you know what I'm saying? You only get one life to live, you know what I mean? And like, you know what I'm saying? I'm a traveling man, and in quarantine, that's the only way I could travel, and I'm traveling the universe, you know what I'm saying?
I feel you.
Yeah. Okay, so tell me what's what's the aspirations for Hot Take Cold Turkey? I mean, like, 'cause I know you guys are a new podcast, like how's the day-to-day operations going? Like, are you guys actively like booking? Because I know you guys just did an episode with Robbie. You know what I mean? And that one's coming out. Playmakers, look out for that. I'll definitely, if that episode comes out, you know, before this one, I'll definitely put the link in the description of this video. You know what I mean? And as well as the episode I did with you. You know what I mean? And Eric.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm all about cross promoting, bro. I just really like great content. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think you guys kind of remind me of me and my co-host, where you guys' styles contrast. You know what I mean? They're not exactly the same. And then even
Exactly.
and that's great because, you know what I'm saying? I could tell you're more assertive, and Eric is kind of more reserved. But like when it comes to like your takes, both of you are not holding back. I love that. You know what I mean?
Oh, definitely. It's called Hot Take Cold Turkey for so many reasons. I mean, Eric's favorite NFL team is the Green Bay Packers in the NFC North, and then the Titans, my favorite team, are in the AFC South.
Yep.
So you have like the difference in that. Eric is more like analytical. I'm more heartfelt, and I'm more energetic, and
Yeah, passionate.
I like to throw out crazy shit, and Eric's more like laid back. So there's a lot of give and take between me and Eric, and a lot of contrast, which makes the Hot Take Cold Turkey name even more correct.
It adds validity to it. You know what I mean? But mind you, don't ask me how to spell validity. You know what I mean? Yeah. Okay. So, tell me about how the conversation went with Blake when Blake was like, "Listen, y'all, you know what I'm saying? Y'all gotta be some affiliates with Blitz with Blake because he obviously stands behind the product." You know what I mean? And I'm just curious how that conversation went because I think it's phenomenal that he's supporting you guys in that aspect.
Well, yeah. Again, all credit to Eric. He knew Blake way before I did.
Oh, that's right. You did say that.
Yeah, when we were talking with him,
because you guys all went to college together too, right?
Yeah, we went to the same college. I didn't know Blake until this podcast stuff started.
Nice.
So that was all Eric's connection. Hey, he came to me. Hey, man, my buddy just dropped a podcast, and then he started trying to help us out, and we just kept talking, and it got to the point where he fucked with us. He loved talking to us, and he was asking if we wanted to be a part of the Blitz with Blake umbrella and his family, and we're like, fuck yeah. I mean, we know Blake. He's a good guy. We know he doesn't have any ulterior motive or anything, so we're like, fuck yeah, let's roll. And then he's been helping us promote and helping us get our following up, and I mean, we've only had 3 episodes, and we're all the way up to 1,000 followers on Twitter.
That's fucking awesome, dude. Yeah, he even told me too, man. He was like, he told me on the side, he's like, hey, bro, he's like, I could help you with your Twitter, cause I'm new on Twitter, and he was like, bro, I got something for you. I can help you, and I'm like, and then I'm not gonna say on air. But yeah, I know what you're talking about because you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. He knows how to wiggle on the goddamn Twitter, the Twitterverse. You know what I mean? But
Exactly.
Yeah. So and then ultimately, I remember having the conversation with Rob. You know what I'm saying? When Rob was like, "What do you think about us bringing in BWB?" And I'm like, "Fuck yeah." You know what I'm saying? And at the time there was another third party trying to actively recruit him, and it was a bad look for
that bullshit offer.
Yeah, and then Robbie was so angry at that bullshit offer. He was like, man, you need to come to the Rump Boys. You know what I mean? Like, he's like, this is where you belong. You know what I mean? And like, it was kind of the same way, he talked to me when he brought me in. You know what I mean? And like, I even know I actually spoke with Robbie. When you guys got off the podcast, he hit me up. And he was like, yeah, I just did Hot Take Cold Turkey. And I was like, word, how'd it go? And he's like, we legit had like a segment talking about you. And I was like, word. And he was like, yeah, man. He was like, because, it was just one of those things where, while he's actively expanding, when he got Blake, you guys were part of Blake. So, and here we are, right? We're all fucking together, bro.
Yeah, dude, it's fucking awesome, dude. I was so hyped when Blake gave us the call because, I mean, if we never would have gotten the call from Rum Boys, it kind of would have felt a little bit stagnant. But now that, we're part of Rum Boys, Eric and I feel like, although we haven't really accomplished much, we feel like that we're validated in a way. So now it feels like we've hit tracks and we're running and we're getting, unique people on the pod that, it would have just been me, Eric, and Blake for the most part, but now we had access to, you on the pod and Robbie on the pod, and it's just been awesome.
Yeah, man, and my door, I have an open door policy, bro. You know what I'm saying? In the office, man. When we're all in the office, man, even if you're on the 3rd floor and I'm on the 4th floor, fuck it, come on up the stairs. Go ahead and, come into the office. Let me know if anything you need. You know what I mean? Because I am for real when I say these things. You know what I mean? Like I'm pretty sure if there was a segment about me, Robbie would say I'm a loyalist because I just believe in great content. You know what I mean? And I believe in helping people that help me. And even if motherfucker doesn't help me and I feel like I can help them, I'm gonna help them. You know what I mean? Like that's just the type of individual I've been all my life. So it works easy. I will say in the podcast industry, coming from the music industry, bro, like, okay, say this, check this out, Drew. Say you're a rapper. Say you're Young Drew, right? That's your rap name. Young Drew. I'm Bogart Scott Free, and I'm like, yo, what up, Young Drew? Let's do a song, you know what I mean? And you might be like, all right, yo, we'll see what's up. You know what I mean? Like, it's like,
Yeah.
or even vice versa. You know, you're Young Drew, and you're like, what's happening, Scott? Let's do a track. And I'm like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, okay, we could do it. Like, you know, just hella vague, right?
Yeah,
But
I gotta pay you like
Exactly.
$400 to jump on a verse.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? And trust me, it would be more than that. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Most people that have any kind of traction, they're charging like up the ass. So, you know, but in the podcast industry, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, yo, what up, man? Let's collab. Yeah, let's do it. And it's really just figuring out a convenient time for the two parties. You know what I mean? Because
Definitely.
we all have the same common denominator. And I do make a conscious effort that I only really want to reach out to people that I think is dope. You know what I mean? Because it's like, yeah, because also like, I really can care less if a motherfucker has a large following or not. Because at the same time too, it's like, you know what I mean? If the shit is dope or not, you know what I mean? Like there's motherfuckers that got large following and I think their shit is trash. I'm not gonna reach out to them. You know what I mean? Like I want to reach out to a motherfucker that I identify with, or you know what I mean, or vice versa. Like, you know me, I'm. If you listen to any of my other podcast series, it's always just Bogart talking. You know what I mean? Whether I'm talking about music or whether I'm talking about football, like whether I'm talking about life shit, it's the same me. You know what I mean? So that I don't know. I figured, you know what I mean? If people are identifying with me, then I feel like they're really getting to know me because I'm not on here putting on any kind of facade or anything. You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure. Your podcast is so easy to listen to because it's so evident that you're being real and authentic with what you're saying, and it's so easy to relate with you. You're probably the funniest dude I've ever heard when it comes to like.
Man, I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
Like who'd you call frying pan hands?
Eric Ebron. Yeah, Eric Ebron, frying pan hands. Have you seen him try to catch a ball with them big old frying pan hands? He's just slapping them together like, I mean, it's funny when I was on with Blake on Blake's show, and I know you had to dip out, so we did your show, which was also fucking hilarious. Playmakers, I can't wait till you guys check that one out if you haven't already. You know what I'm saying? We did a Korean baseball fantasy draft, and like. Man, I did not know anything, but I was like, give me the team with the most Kims on it. You know what I mean? I was just like, but anyways, right? So I was telling Blake, when we were on his show, he does that segment, the NFL roast.
Yeah, dude, I was so pissed I couldn't be a part of it. But yeah, I know what you're talking about.
So when we were roasting the Steelers, I kept referring to Big Ben as Big Ben Rapist Burger.
Like, Jesus.
I'm like, yo, you mean Big Ben Rapist Burger? Yes, Rapist Burger. You know what I mean? Even though it was just an allegation, still, you know what I mean? Don't get no allegations. Oh, yeah. I'm gonna run with it. You know what I mean? Like,
definitely.
Yeah. Okay, well, shit. Let's get right into it, man. Let's dive right into it. Let's go ahead and you are a Tennessee Titans fan. Let's go ahead and what I'm saying, while we tighten up, I'm gonna go ahead and pour this shot. I mean, I hope you got a drink with you. I know you've been having a few. You were on with Robbie, so for sure you're a drinker.
Oh, yeah, man.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And, you know what I mean? Salute, you know what I'm saying? Tito's, give me money. Bud Light, give me money. You know what I'm saying? Unofficial sponsors, but one day, you know what I mean? So now we're going to tighten up, something real nice and tight like. You know what I'm saying? Let's go ahead and let me know some of the standouts in this draft class. Like, because I mean, and I do want to say this real quick. You know what I'm saying? I always do this. You listen to the show. I veer off a lot, but if you go back to episode 1 of the Real Fantasy Playmakers, it was right before the last season started, and me and my co-host, the Goo, right? Shout out to the Guru. Me and the Goo, we're going division by division, giving our predictions on the records for each team and who's gonna win the division. And bro, I had the Texans winning your guys' division, but I had Tennessee as a 10-win team. And I shit you not, I go, give it about 3 to 4 weeks, not even barring injury, Mariota's gonna be out of there. It's gonna be Tannehill. And bro, I remember like a month into the year, obviously Tannehill, that all that happened. Maybe actually, did you guys get the 10 wins or was it 9-7? Did we lose them? Drew. Yo. Drew. I think we're having some technical difficulties.
Oh, shit.
Oh, there you go. All right, cool. No, I thought I lost you for a sec. Okay, so do you remember what was your guys' record last year?
9-7 for the third year in a row.
So, but still though, I had predicted you guys I predicted you guys, and this was from episode 1 of the Real Fantasy Playmakers, the very first episode. We're doing all predictions on records, division winners. I had the Texans winning the division, but I had you guys as 10-6. It went 9-7, but I remember the Goo, he argued with me like he does, and then I had it the first 3 weeks, maybe 4, and I said we're gonna see Tannehill. I was like, it won't even take a Mariota injury. They're gonna see, because Mariota's, first of all, he's not even a rah guy at any, like, it's like, yo, Mariota is the type of guy, if he goes into Baskin Robbins to get ice cream and there's like 32 flavors, all phenomenal flavors, sherbet, Rocky Road, you know what I'm saying? Even raspberry cheesecake and crazy shit. He goes like this, give me vanilla. Yeah, fucking, that's Mariota. And I was like,
see, I thought you would have said that he would have had 32 pink spoons to try them all.
Nah.
That's where I thought you were
He
going
goes
with it.
in there and he's so vanilla, even with his play style. That's why I was like, yo, they're gonna spice this thing up, within the first quarter of the year. And that was my prediction. And then I remember when Tannehill got in there, my man, the Guru, he hits me. He goes, I went back and listened to episode 1, bro. You fucking called this shit. And I'm like, well, yeah, bro. This is why we're doing the podcast. We're not just some fuck boys. We're like, you know what? We should just have a podcast. And then I'm like, I actually think I know what I'm talking about. So, but anyways, with all that said, I'm excited. Now we have the Tannehill-led Titans. He got his bread. He got his bag. You know what I'm saying? AJ Brown on a sophomore outing. You know what I'm saying? Derrick Henry, monster of a man, of a beast with his 32-inch.
Best running back in the league. Don't fucking at me.
32-inch goddamn fucking arms, even hitting you off with the meanest stiff arm in the game. You know what I'm saying?
Earl Thomas.
Yep, you got my favorite bust that I was so high on, Corey Davis, that could perhaps have a breakout year because he might finally see single coverage. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a good chance that because, you know what I'm saying? But anyways, now, tell me who stands out to you in this draft class that could be an addition, maybe not even just on offense, just as a team as a whole, just an addition to help be an immediate boost for this Tennessee Titans team.
Well, the first two that come to mind are, it kind of sucked through this draft because we couldn't really add anything. It was a lot of replacements because we lost a lot of free agents. Yeah, so
like Jack Conklin going to the Browns. That's a big that was a big loss.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So with Jack leaving, we had to pick up Isaiah Wilson from Georgia.
Oh,
and
you guys got
that
good
dude
value
looks
on
like
him.
a beast.
You guys got good value on him.
Oh yeah, I'm hyped about him. And then the second one was our second pick, Christian Fulton, to slide into that Logan Ryan role, and I'm gonna miss the hell out of Logan Ryan.
Well, isn't he trying to pursue his boxing career? You know what? Mike Tyson should fight Logan Ryan. I heard Mike Tyson's trying to come back. You know what I mean? Fuck it.
Yeah.
Oh, no, not Logan Ryan. That's Logan Paul. My bad, Playmakers. I knew that didn't sound right.
Yeah, I was about to say.
He's like, what? Logan Ryan? He's boxing? No, but hey, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Was that Logan Ryan that picked off Brady in that goddamn that playoff game?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, and revenge.
Man, when I tell you, I was on the bus coming back from an away game, and I had that game plan on my phone. Dude, I was so fucking hyped when he picked him off. The only criticism I have is that I was a little scared because he went into the end zone and he gave Brady one last drive. But
the game was already out of hand, dude. The game was out of hand. The morale was at an all-time low. You know what I mean? Derrick Henry
beat the shit out of him.
Yeah, and Derrick Henry tends to do that to defenses too. Like, and that's the thing that I used to hate with Matt LaFleur is like Matt LaFleur was like trying to do some kind of timeshare when he was there. Remember that with him and Deion Lewis, and like it was like no, you might have to give Derrick Henry like 4 or 5 carries before he really gets going, because then he's like, it's like Derrick Henry's the type of guy he needs to take a couple hits and then he starts dishing the hits out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's got to get pissed off a little bit and
start
going out stiff arms.
Fuck yeah.
No, it pissed me off because I think this was really the first year where he was like the number one back. In the past, he was like splitting with either DeMarco Murray or Deion Lewis, and now he finally got his chance and he fucking took off.
Bodied it. And, I mean, Ryan Tannehill, he needs to lobby for his man to get paid. I mean, granted, Derrick Henry, he was not mad at signing that franchise tag. Because, he did not hesitate. He wasn't going to be on no fuck shit and be like, well, I'm going to hold out. I know what I'm worth. He knows what the running back landscape looks like. You know what I mean? Where it's like, he'll take the goddamn, what was it, 12 mil?
Yeah.
Something like that, you know what I mean? I mean, he'll take that. You know what I mean? And Ryan Tannehill, you got to show him love, man, because with Derrick Henry being utilized in that facet, the way they did, it allowed Tannehill to rip off some big play action. It allowed Tannehill to have open running lanes for himself even, because he was sneaky with the wheels. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. He's got... People forget he played a little wide receiver in college, so he's got a little bit of wheels on him.
I don't forget. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know what I'm saying? I love... You know what I love even more than a converted wide receiver to quarterback is the quarterback converted to wide receiver. You know what I'm saying? Because like a Julian Edelman or like a I don't know if you remember Cameron Meredith a couple years ago. He was like, I won so much money in DFS using this guy where I'm always gonna remember. I love you, Cam Meredith. Cam Meredith, give me money. But like, cause you would imagine like okay, he used to be a receiver. So Tannehill, right? So he knows exactly where the receiver's gonna be at in a certain route. You know what I mean? And like let's be honest. He was under a shitty, catalog of coaches when he came from a goddamn the Dolphins. You know what I mean? Like, he got them into the playoffs that one year under Adam Gase, but unfortunately he had partially tore his ACL, so he didn't even get to play said playoff game. So imagine that type of chip on his shoulder, finally getting into the dance and destroying the fuck out of 2 Super Bowl contenders back to back. And then y'all couldn't, and I'm mad at y'all actually, man. Y'all couldn't do that for the Chiefs? Y'all couldn't just knock them off? I think we could have stopped y'all. You know what I mean? But it's like, you had to unleash the Chiefs on my Niners, B.
Man, when I tell you I was talking, dude, I honestly thought our season was over after we beat the Patriots. I was like, look, we had a good run. Like, the Ravens are just hot right now. Like, I'm not going to
they were
be
cold.
upset if we lose.
They were cold coming off that bye week.
I didn't expect that. The 3 week because Lamar Jackson didn't play in the last week, so he had damn near 3 weeks off.
And you got to think about this.
I didn't even think about that.
Ryan Tannehill and all the Titans were like, they were screaming, "Remember the Titans, motherfucker!" You know what I'm saying? They were on some because they were playing must-win football since like that Saints game. You know what I mean? Remember?
Yeah.
I think didn't they lose the Saints game? If I remember that.
Yeah.
Right. And then
we didn't have Derrick Henry.
Yeah, and then it was like, exactly, because he was nursing that injury, and then it was like, boom, you played the Texans who were resting a lot of their guys, and they fucked up letting you guys in. You know what I mean? And it was like you were playing must-win football since that day. It was like, listen, we're all the way, and you got and man, shout out to Ryan Tannehill. I love wonderful stories like that. You know what I mean? Where it's like he got to a title game, bro. That's fucking not an easy feat to accomplish. You know what I mean? Let alone be winning. And I remember, I'm fantasy to the heart. So, I'm saying we had a playoff fantasy league, and so I remember I'm at the Niner tailgate because I'm saying, I'm a season ticket holder. I went to every playoff game. It was our first one, so I'm there. You know what I mean? So it's the NFC Championship tailgate. I'm over here watching the goddamn Tennessee Titans game because I had Patrick Mahomes, and I'm like, it's a wrap for me. I'm like, it's a wrap. Because, like, I believed in the Tennessee Titans so tough. Like, I actually believe that, like, you look at all the coaches that came from the Belichick coaching family tree. He didn't give Grable a chance. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? It was actually Romeo Crennel, who's another disciple of Belichick. You know, Romeo Crennel gave him his first shot. Remember that? With the Texans. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He was a positions coach.
Yeah.
And then, you know, there was that year where, you know, they let Romeo Crennel go because, you know, I actually happen to think he's old and senile. So, you know what I mean? They let him go. And then that year, Grable, you know, was a defensive coordinator. They got into the playoffs. And then he parlayed that into a goddamn head coaching job. You know what I mean?
Man, and I could not be happier. I fucking love Vrabel.
I know, right? But he does kick it with some weirdos, right? Motherfuckers with mullets, motherfuckers taking a dump during the draft. Like, you know how I told you? I said, yo, do me a favor, Drew. Can you just go ahead and pull up all the, you know, the draft, your draft class? Because, like, bro, when I was off the top of my head, you know, I was cooking dinner and doing all this shit, right? You know, over here where I'm at. And I was thinking, I was like, every time I think of the Titans draft, all I can remember is that dude taking a dump. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Vrabel's fucking hilarious. Yeah. If you see him on any podcast, that dude, he has to be the funniest coach in the NFL.
Yeah, man, he's relatable. He's a true players coach. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, for sure. I watch a podcast, Bustin' with the Boys with
yeah, hell yeah. Shout out to the boys, man. The boys,
man. The boys, I fucking love them.
Love them.
Like Will Compton, you know, he wasn't like a star player, but he still had that connection with Coach Vrabel, and like,
bro, Compton was legit.
Yeah, I could just imagine. Yeah,
he was legit, bro.
No, yeah, I'm sad we let him go. Honestly, I mean, because all the stories I've heard, that man was great in the locker room, and I just think he would have been a great addition for us for this year. But you know, he was doing good things with the Raiders last year, so I'm happy for him.
Okay, so tell me a little bit more about this cornerback you guys drafted, because I'm curious to know more about him. You know what I'm saying? Because I want to know whether or not I could feel comfortable starting receivers against your secondary in fantasy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, basically everything that I've seen on him is just he's very similar to Adoree Jackson from USC.
So he's a speedster.
Who we ended up, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's not really like they were questioning his toughness on the defense and like helping out with the run, but I think we got him for coverage because we're trying to get back to the Super Bowl, and we know we got to go through that stud muffin up in Kansas City.
Yeah,
we gotta
all
cover
speed,
all those fucking
speedsters. And think about this.
Workhorses at wide receiver.
Think about this, bro. You look at a team like the Tennessee Titans. You know, they actually are trying to do their best Kansas City impression by having, you know, Will Fuller, Brandon Cooks, Kenny Stills, all these speedsters. You know what I mean? Hey, hold on one second.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Hold on one second, my guy. You know what I'm saying? I got my youngest daughter outside the studio door going ham. Yes, baby. Yes. Oh, yeah. So that's one. If you're getting all those animals for one animal, you make that trade, baby. I mean, that's if you want, you're getting a neon monkey, right?
No, it's a ninja monkey, a neon tribal bear.
Boom! Do it. That's a good trade, love. So check this out. Drew. So my daughter, she plays. I mean, I'm pretty sure you've heard of Roblox, right?
Yeah, I've heard of it.
Yeah, so my daughter, she loves Roblox, and it's a game. It has a bunch of mini games. And there's this game called Adopt Me, and it's a game where you have all these animals, and they're all categorized in different categories. You know, rare, ultra rare, you know, legendary. You know what I'm saying? And then like, you know, so you could have say you have like a unicorn, right? And if you have like 4 unicorns, you could turn it into one neon unicorn, right? And like, right, so it's like,
okay.
And you make trades. So she's hollering outside the studio door because she always runs the trade offers by me, right? You know what I mean? And so like she's getting a whole entire haul, like 6 animals, including a neon animal, you know, and for her one like neon dragon. I'm like, well, you know what? You go ahead and hit that accept. You know what I mean? Submit that shit. You know what I mean? But it's like, because, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, daddy is a trade master. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You know, I do this. I do this. And she knows it. And you know what? It runs in her blood. You know what I mean? Look at that. She got the 1-for-6 trade popping off. You know what I mean? I love
She's
that.
making moves.
She's making moves, Drew. Making moves. Okay, so let's get back to these Tennessee Titans. You know what I mean? So you got as far as your DBs, you're gonna need speed because, like you said, the big dog in the AFC is the Kansas City Chiefs, and they're chock full of speed. Everybody runs 4.4 or sub 4.4, maybe minus Travis Kelce because he runs a 4.5, but still, he's with all that speed taking the top off. I mean, like, man, it's crazy, bro. Okay, so
yeah, it's so frustrating trying to guard them.
Yeah. Okay, so actually, even before we get into the schedule, right? I do want to break down a little bit of the fantasy assets coming from the Titans because I want to know if we're too bullish because they are a run-first team, right?
Yeah.
And A.J. Brown, in his sophomore outing, you know what I'm saying, who actually reminds me a lot of like a young Anquan Bolden. Do you remember Anquan Bolden?
Yeah.
Bro, like Anquan Bolden after the catch was fucking beastie. And he is like younger, bigger, badder, stronger Anquan Bolden. And like, I love that. Because especially like when I can find a draw a comparison to somebody and it seems accurate to me, and then when you see it translate on the field, it's like, whoa. Because it's like, think about this. He's a 4th rounder in 12-team redraft, right? And I think if that secondary, as young as they are, with Adoree Jackson, and you guys still have Butler, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Butler, Adoree Jackson. What's your rookie coming in? What's his name again?
Christian Fulton.
Christian Fulton, right? If these guys can't get it together, you guys might, I'm saying this just to be a realist. If you guys are giving up touchdowns through the air because of that secondary, we might see a lot more pass attempts coming out of this team. Because, you guys are one of the teams that were, at the top of the league as far as owning time of possession. Because you guys had a running ass beast like Derrick Henry. You know what I mean? So it's like you could own time of possession. You know what I'm saying? A lot of lower scoring games, but then also you can shoot out. Like I can remember the game against the Chiefs. You know what I'm saying? Like in the regular season, shooting out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just
or like when we played Jacksonville, I think we scored it was 4 touchdowns in 6 plays. Just something crazy like that.
Right?
Yeah.
Step aside, Jacksonville. You had a nice little blip in the run. You know what I mean? Like they really.
Yeah, fuck Jacksonville.
Hey, they
They're one of my
legit.
least favorite teams.
You know what's funny is they legit looked like they were gonna be sticking around for a while, but then you start thinking, oh no, you had Blake Bortles, right? And then, right, because with that defense, you thought it was, but there's too much politics that fuck shit up over there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, so now tell me about Ryan Tannehill. If you're in a single QB league, are you looking at Ryan Tannehill at all? Single QB, because super flex or double QB leagues, I'm all about him as my second quarterback. But I mean, I want to know from a real deal, Tennessee Titans fan. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know. It'd be risky if if there are a lot of quarterbacks already taken. Tannehill is not a bad choice. I personally love Tannehill for what he does, but when it comes to something like fantasy, I would assume you'd want someone with a lot of passes, someone who's going to, be the focal point of the offense when really he just plays off Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
So, if you have a game like you said, like where we get into a shootout, maybe if we play someone like the 49ers with like that defensive front, if they maybe give us some issues, I'd look to use to get Tannehill out and going. But, I mean, if we're playing someone where they can't stop the run, he's probably going to throw the ball only like 15 times a game, and I don't think he's going to give you the fantasy numbers you need.
You know what was phenomenal to me? His efficiency. Like, what I mean? Like, his efficiency was incredible. It was like every time he threw the ball, he was like 100 million. He just kept telling himself, every time he threw the ball, 100 million. You know what I mean? I'm going to get it, 100 million.
Man, there's one play that sticks out to me, and it's against the Patriots in the playoffs.
The Jonnu Smith touchdown.
No, not that one.
Okay.
But it was like a third. I forget. It might have been like a 3rd and 15.
I was gonna say, it was the 3rd and forever.
Yeah, and he just dropped back and completed a pass to our third string tight end Ferkser.
Yeah, that's
it
right,
may
for
have
the
been
TD.
Pruitt. Yeah. So like it's just stuff like that where it's like we don't need Tannehill to throw the ball 30 times a game. If he can get us to where like we're in a 3rd and 15, you need him to make that throw. He's going to make that throw. He's insanely accurate.
And all he needs to be is accurate with not only his passing but his reads, because
Exactly.
he's gonna get a ton of outside man coverage because of the fact that they're gonna have to stack the box for the beastie ass Derrick Henry. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's when A.J. Brown, I mean, he's way too physical for most corners. A lot of corners can't handle him in his rookie year, and I'm so hyped for his sophomore year.
Yeah. Okay, hold on. This is a really random question because I just lit a joint right now. Do they? What's the weed? What's the weed looking like in Utah? Do they have it medicinal at least over there, or is it just completely like non-existent, like still illegal?
Yeah, it's still illegal here. They, just like everywhere else, they got CBD products, but as far as THC, they don't even have medical down here or up here.
Okay. One more dumb question before we get back to the Titans. Do you plan on having multiple wives?
Not at all, man. I have a girlfriend I'm very much loyal to at the moment.
Yeah. And she's probably listening, you know what I'm saying? So yes, you know what I'm saying? You got a good man, Drew. Would you believe your girl, she had emailed us saying, can you ask him this? Because, we got Mormons out here. You know what I'm saying? No, that was totally false. That was totally false. I'm pretty sure you're familiar with the Bogart antics. You know what I mean? Okay.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yes. Okay. So back to the Titans. You know who I will have fun picking back up is Corey Davis, like with my last pick, because everyone's just so upset with him because he had all this. You know what I mean? But he's fucking phenomenal as a talent.
Yeah.
Like just fucking phenomenal, dude. Like. And I feel like with all the attention coming off of him, and now he's, they picked up his 5th-year option, right? Did they? Has it been that long already for him?
I know they were talking about it. I'm pretty sure they ended up picking it up, but I remember reading a lot of stuff saying they don't know if they're going to.
That's what it was. That's what it was. That's what it was. But you know what though? With that said, you know what, Playmakers? You know what we love? When a motherfucker's trying to get that bag. Like I said, look at Tannehill. He might have threw the ball 13 times, but every time he threw the ball, he was like 100 million. 100 million.
Yes, gotta get paid.
Tennessee, give me money. You know what I mean? Boom.
I'll tell you what. The person I hope we get involved, or we get more involved in the offense.
Let me take a guess.
Jonnu fucking Smith.
Yes, and he should.
That man.
Because listen,
Yes.
I love Delaney Walker because he's always gonna have a special place in my heart because he came from the Niners, right? But
Same here.
for the longest time, I was like, step aside for my man Jonnu. You know what I'm saying? The only man in the world named John and has you at the end of it, goddamn it. Because he has an equally unique name as Hot Take Cold Turkey. His name is Jonnu. You know what I mean?
For sure. The moment I knew like, all right, we're probably going to move on from Delaney, was against Houston. I believe it was the first time we played him. We just threw Jonnu Smith in the backfield and threw him a pitch. He took it for 60 yards. He looked like, if you squint your eyes, you look like you.
Oh, yeah, I remember that play. It was a pick play.
He's so fast. Yes.
Bro, oh, yeah. And bro,
so fast,
hella
so
athletic.
big.
Really fucking,
Yes.
You know what I comped him to? I used to call him a bigger Jordan Reed.
Ooh, okay.
Like that, because he is bigger. Like, because Jordan Reed was kind of slender for a tight end. He was like strictly a pass catching tight end. But like Jonnu can actually he has some blocking chops too. So he's gonna have a lot of snaps. You know what I mean? Because and then more importantly, when you're in on those goal line packages, you know what I'm saying? Like to help block for Derrick Henry, but then he can peel off into the flat and go ahead and catch a tug. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, he can catch that thing and run with it.
Yeah,
that man
bro.
is stupid fast.
Like, remember when you guys were just destroying the Chiefs in the regular season? I remember one of those daggers was like that fucking Jonnu Smith, what was it, like a 60-something yarder house call? Remember that?
I can't remember exactly which one you're talking about,
But yeah, he had a big one, dog. He had a big one, bro, and it was all yak. You know what I mean? Well, actually, it wasn't yak. It was actually a bomb, actually, and it was impressive. Where I pat myself on the back because I make crazy calls, and people were like, "Who the fuck?" You know, people were like, "Who?" I'm like, "John Smith." I be acting like motherfuckers should know. Like, who? John Smith, bro. Put him in your lineup, bro. You know what I'm saying?
No, the dude is stupid skilled. He just didn't, with Derrick Henry and with A.J. Brown, he was kind of like the third or fourth guy, depending on how Corey Davis was doing that game.
But I will say this, though. You know what I'm saying? Ryan Tannehill, he does have a shorter ADOT, a shorter average depth of target. And that's where Jonnu's going to live, you know what I mean? And he's a yak master, you know what I'm saying?
Yup.
Yeah,
Yup. And the fucking catch against the Ravens in the back of the end zone, the one-hander. Mm-hmm. Oh, God, that was so sick.
Woo! Okay, so now, let's go ahead and do me that favor and I really appreciate you for that. Bring up this schedule. Let's go rock this schedule.
Yeah, man. I mean, before we get into the schedule, I wanted to bring up one more thing.
Oh yeah, man. But of course, man. Whatever you want to talk about, bro. You know me. I don't do short podcasts. I really don't give a fuck because my analytics show me that people are tuning in. So you know what I mean. Like, let's rock. What you got? What you got for me?
Yeah, man. I'm gonna miss the hell out of Jarrell Casey.
Oh yeah, for real, dog.
Oh God.
Casey, listen,
sucks.
I grew up a Ninja Turtles fan, and I like to give nicknames, bro. He was Casey Jones, bro.
Yes, he was. Oh God, but seen some tweets from, I don't know if they're reliable, but they were verified on Twitter saying that the Browns had offered Jadeveon Clowney the most money, and Jadeveon Clowney declined. Yes.
Oh my God.
There's a lot of speculation that Jadeveon Clowney is going to be a Tennessee Titan.
He would love to stick it to the organization that drafted him first overall. Or not first overall, as a first rounder.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I love it. You know what? Hold on. Hey, Siri, call Mike Grable. I forgot. He changed his number. You know what I'm saying? But
fuck, I hate when that happens.
I know, right? I was gonna make the call right now. Listen, you know what we need over there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, bro. Bro, first of all, with Jadeveon Clowney, he doesn't. It's sad that he doesn't have the super sack totals anywhere he's at, but he will fuck up any play that he's involved in. He is wrecking shop. You know what I mean? He's disrupting everything. And him on that line would be murder, dog. Oh my God. Did we lose him again?
Yes, and it wasn't.
Okay. I thought we lost you again for a second there, Drew.
No, I'm still here.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead. Tell me about Clowney. I do want to let you know, whatever area you're in, you're definitely cutting in and out. Let's go ahead and whatever area you were in prior to this, you were phenomenal. Yellow. Young Drew. Did we lose him? Hold on, Playmakers. Things like this can occur in the field. Okay, there he is. He's back. Yo, Drew.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Okay, cool.
All right, I'm gonna step outside and see if that's any better.
Yeah, no, because I definitely want to, you know what I'm saying? I definitely want the Playmakers to get the full experience from young Drew. One half of Hot Take Cold Turkey. And everybody look out for young Drew's album coming soon. You know what I'm saying? That's my nickname from now on. I'm calling him Young Drew. YD.
Bet.
Yeah.
Bet.
Okay, so you would fucking love Jadeveon Clowney there.
Yeah, dude. It seemed like, when we played someone like the Chiefs or the Texans, you can only keep up with their receivers for so long. We just weren't getting any pressure on the QB. I feel like that's what Jadeveon Clowney can bring for us. We need more pressure on Patrick Mahomes and Deshaun Watson in order for, our secondary not have to chase Tyreek Hill and Will Fuller around for 80 yards.
Or even T.Y. Hilton. You know what I mean? Like, because think about that. Like, Indy has a phenomenal line. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And look at the Texans. Terrible line, but got a mobile quarterback. Look at the Jacksonville Jaguars. Their line on paper, when they're healthy, phenomenal. You know, they've been dealing with a lot of injuries, but, you know, my point being is you definitely need somebody who's wrecking shop, putting that quarterback in uncomfortable positions. You know what I'm saying? And, bro, Jadeveon Clowney would be a wonderful addition, and he would be able to stick it to them Texans twice a year.
Yeah, the only thing I hope, though, is I hope it doesn't tear into Derrick Henry's long-term contract that he's looking for.
Well, I mean, I'll tell you this much. What Jadeveon Clowney is looking for is that big long-term bag, because he knows how injury-riddled he is. He knows how injury-prone he is. I honestly think, in my recollection, he's never played a full 16. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with the Seahawks. You know, he missed a couple games over there. You know what I mean? And, like, so he's looking for security. You know what I mean? And, like, right now they're able to wiggle. They already paid Tannehill. They got Derrick Henry on a franchise tag. And granted, if they come to next year and Derrick Henry's still intact with the way they run him, and he will sign another franchise tag and get goddamn fucking 18 million or fucking whatever it is that the average, you know, because you know when you sign a second franchise tag, it goes up. You know, not only the average highest paid running back, you know what I'm saying, what would be his pay for a year, but it would go up because it's the second tag. So, you know what I mean? Yeah. So definitely, I definitely agree with you on that one, man, because Derrick Henry's the key, man.
Yeah, we definitely want to keep him happy. You know, if we sign Jadeveon Clowney and it interrupts, you know, Derrick Henry's bag and he goes elsewhere, I will drive to Tennessee and fucking riot. I will be so mad.
He's like, I'm coming home. I'm coming home.
Yes.
Oh, you coming home to visit us? You know, this is your family, right? You coming home to visit? No. I'm going home to handle business. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm going straight to downtown Nashville and I'm starting a goddamn riot.
Yeah.
We fuck up Derrick Henry's contract.
Yeah, pay the man. You know what I'm saying? I love Derrick Henry because he's nostalgic. He's the old school meets new school. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As far as running back goes, you know what I mean? Because he's a power back, but he also can catch a screen and go 60 yards. He also can fucking, like, bro, in the zone run scheme, he averaged like goddamn 7 yards a clip. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
So now here's a more important question. You think his price tag, Derrick Henry, you think his price tag is too expensive, being like some people are pulling him up in the back of the first round in 12-team redraft? You know what I'm saying? I don't mind him in the second round because obviously I only play PPR leagues over here. At the GMM network, the Real Fantasy Playmakers, we only talk PPR. You know what I mean? And we talk more so redraft. You know what I mean? So with that said, I mean, is that too expensive, you know, considering the fact that Jack Conklin is gone? Because think about this. There is a reason why the Browns picked him up in free agency, because Kevin Stefanski going over there is bringing that zone run scheme. You know what Kevin Stefanski's lineage is, right? He's
remind me.
So he's cut from the Gary Kubiak coaching tree, and Gary Kubiak, he's cut from the Mike Shanahan coaching tree.
Oh, okay.
You know, and so, you know, obviously Kyle Shanahan's dad. So they run the zone run scheme, and like I said, on runs to the right with Derrick Henry to that right side of the field, with you know, behind Jack Conklin breaking open that second level. We seen Derrick Henry average 7 yards a clip when they're calling zone run plays. So, like, you know what I'm saying? You know what? I'm with you, man. Salute.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so who I know you touched on him a little bit. Who, you know, how confident are we in his predecessor, in Jack's predecessor, that you guys picked up in the draft?
You know, to be honest, I haven't seen much film. You know, and it's gonna be tough with the shortened. There's probably gonna be a shortened training camp.
It's true. Good point.
I hope he can pick up everything we want to do. I don't doubt his skill set. I just hope, you know, he can pick up where Jack left off, and even if he's not as good, if he can just understand exactly what he's
Your
supposed
dog
to do.
agrees. Your dog's like, yeah, he's like, what you talking about, Drew?
My dog's like, shut the fuck up.
Nah, man, you know what I'm saying? He's giving his fantasy takes, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly. He's a big Derrick Henry guy, too.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Hey, listen, I don't know the name of your dog's name, but for this show, is it safe to say your dog's name is Derrick? He's like, listen, I named my dog after Derrick Henry. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude, he needs his treats like Derrick Henry needs the bag.
Yeah, give him the bag. Yeah, man. Okay, so, yeah, man, you know what I'm saying? You go ahead and give him the treat, and then we'll give the Playmakers, you know what I'm saying, all our Tennessee Titan fans out there, all our Tennessee Titan Playmakers out there, let's go ahead and bust this schedule.
Let's do it.
Yeah, so week 1, you know what I'm saying? Go ahead and take your time, you know what I mean? And I also appreciate you because, bro, my internet is so fucked over here. You know, and I'm from California. I'm from the Silicon Valley where I'm in Tech Central. But I feel like in quarantine, like my internet's just so crazy right now, dog. Like, even just on my phone, bro, like, it's crazy. Like you know when I do the Run Boys After Dark, you know what I'm saying? Like, my computer's fine when I'm downstairs. But, like, once I get to multitasking on the computer, it starts to geek. And then, like, my phones are all fucked up. You know, I have multiple phones. They all start to geek every time I'm in my studio. It's like, it's a bitch, man. Like, I really got to be next to my router. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm dealing, personal problems. But so I appreciate that. I appreciate that you were able to just pull up the schedule for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, you are the co-host for the day. You know what I mean, every time I bring on a guest, they're not just a guest; they're the actual co-host for the day. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Yeah, young Drew.
So, getting into the schedule, the first game scares the piss out of me. I cannot lie. We were playing, I believe we're the first Monday.
Yeah. Because Monday nighters are double headers, so you're one of the double headers.
Yeah, so we're the second Monday night game of the year, and we're playing against the fucking Broncos, and they skunked us last time we played. We didn't score a single point. That was the game.
I remember that.
Tannehill took over from Mariota.
Yeah, and they actually held Derrick Henry in check, right? For the most part.
Derrick. Yeah, he couldn't get anything going, and they just got. We let go of Jerome
Should we boo them?
They're the ones that picked up.
Should we boo them? Let's go ahead and boo the Broncos. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my boy Eastside Eric. You know what I'm saying? Eastside Eric's he's a hardcore Broncos fan. Yeah. We're booing them. And what, Eric? It's a different Eric. Not hot take cold turkey Eric.
Yeah, my dad's also he's always been a Denver Broncos fan, so he was. We were talking shit before the game last year, and I had to shut the fuck up after that game ended. So
damn.
He was giving me an earful.
I love a good father-son. Argument. Me and my dad. My dad. Check us out. So quick little history. My dad came from the Philippines. You know what I'm saying? He came to San Francisco at the age of 19, so in 1978. So during this time, the Zodiac killer was running rampant. You know what I mean? The city was in shambles. And then a couple years into it, they go ahead and draft one man named Joe Montana. And it turned that whole thing around. So long story longer, I was born and raised a Niner fan. But when Joe Montana went to the Chiefs, I remember being a little kid and my dad was like, I like the Chiefs too. And I'm like, I'm probably in maybe second grade at the time. And I'm like, what the fuck, Dad? You know what I mean? And he's like, no, Joe Montana, you know what I mean? But it's I'm veering off. So I'd imagine your dad is an Elway guy. That's what made him a Bronco.
Oh, yeah. Elway, Terrell Davis, Rod Smith, Ed McCaffrey, Shannon Sharp, Bill Romanowski.
Hey,
the whole
Mike Shanahan, bro. He's
yes.
You know what I'm saying? He threw that whole thing together.
It's honestly a miracle I'm not a Broncos fan because I remember growing up on the 1997, 1998 Super Bowl tapes where took you through their Super Bowl season.
Yep.
And I just grew up on those and those are my I love that team personally, but yeah, I'm a Titans fan now.
Yeah. And okay, so speaking, so going back to week 1, where is this game at?
It's at Denver, but we played at Denver last year, so I'm a little pissed. I thought they'd come to Tennessee this year.
Well, at least in this case, you guys are gonna be able to go like anybody knows when you go to Denver and when you go to Mile High, you got to go a week earlier to get all your players acclimated to that altitude. You know what I mean? So and maybe losing to them in that fashion last season, that could be the best thing that the Titans got going because they got this chip on their shoulder, like, man, fuck the Broncos. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
exactly.
But you know what though? I will say Drew Lock with all the weapons they gave him. You know what I'm saying? And then also with the addition of Melvin Gordon, and more importantly Pat Shurmur. You know what I'm saying? Like Pat, because Pat Shurmur is he's one of my favorite offensive coordinators. Like he also knows how to feed a running back. You know what I mean? Enough where they're gonna rip off some big play action, and maybe this secondary, because think about this, you're gonna go ahead and put goddamn what's his name, Dory Jackson on Cortland Sutton, bro. That's a mismatch. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just looking at the player matchups. You know what I'm saying? Or what are you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? You're gonna you do got goddamn Vic Fangio over there, and Vic Fangio is always gonna have a special place in my heart too because he was with our Niners for a while. And then even look at when Vic Fangio left for the Broncos. You seen that Chicago defense take a hit last year as far as their production. You know what I mean? So I you know what? I'm wearing my realist hat right now, not being a fan of personally of either of these teams. So my opinion is unbiased. I'm gonna go ahead and give this one to the Broncos.
And as bad as this hurts me, I got to agree with you. I mean, giving up Jarrell Casey to them to add on to that defense that locked us up last year.
The revenge narrative.
But we do have the revenge factor where Tannehill wants to prove that, if you would have started me against the Broncos, I would have gone out, won this game. I think it's going to be the best game of the week. I think people are sleeping on the Broncos heavy. I see them making the playoffs as a wild card in that AFC West. So I think both these teams are. I mean, I'm obviously a Titans fan. I think both these teams are going to make the playoffs, and it's going to be a battle. I can't wait for this game. I'm also scared shitless for this game.
Hey, real quick side note. So I got my studio door cracked open, to the outside, and one of my neighbors is smoking some good marijuana, and it just triggered me to go ahead and light something up again. You know what I mean? But yeah, anyways. So now with that said. I will say this though, before we get on to week 2, I will say that you made a good point, Tannehill, because I love intangibles. I fucking love intangibles. You can't measure them. They're the things that bring something out of people. And in this case, he might want to be like, listen, y'all should have been starting me. Let me show you what it would have been like. So I will say that's one that I could flip-flop on, but I will give it to the Broncos for now. And you'll get what I'm saying when we get to the end because. And I'll preface this. When I talk about my Niners, I have a floor of 9-7, and I have a ceiling of 11-5 because there's so many different games I could coin flip on. You know what I mean? So this will be one of those ones I could coin flip on. But for now, giving it to the Broncos. Let's go to week 2. Young Drew.
Yeah. So the week 2, we're hosting Jacksonville, and unless something crazy happens,
I'm giving y'all the dub.
We lose that game. Yeah, I don't see how we lose that game.
You know what I'm saying? I mean. I feel like, with Jay Gruden going over there, it's only week 2. Still going to be a new system they have to learn. I don't think everything's going to be, firing on all cylinders by any means. A lot of politics going on there with a lot of disgruntled defensive players. You know what I'm saying? We're going to go ahead and get y'all to 1-1. So going into week 3, sitting at 500.
Ngakwe, what doesn't he want out of Jacksonville?
You would take him?
Fuck yeah, we take it.
Yeah! Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
As long as the money's right.
You feel me? You know what I'm saying? Okay, so in this game, is this your home opener, or are you guys still on the road?
No, that's our home opener.
Nice. Oh, that's double Jamaicans. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna go ahead and give that one. So you guys are sitting at 1-1 under the Bogard prediction so far, and my man Young Drew. You know what I'm saying? He also got y'all 1-1.
Looking at this schedule, just looking at the whole thing real quick, we got a tough fucking schedule.
I know.
I can't even lie. Tough schedule.
When we scheduled this episode, like last week, remember we scheduled it like a week ago, right?
Yeah.
I remember that was the one time I took a look at it because I like to get a little, just to, a little bit of studying. You know what I'm saying? When I say studying, I mean like drinking. You know what I'm saying? And I remember sitting here drinking, and I was like, let me just look at the Titans schedule so I can just have a little bit in the back of my head already. And like, tough schedule, bro.
Yeah. No, they're throwing us. They're telling us, you made it to the AFC Championship last year. We're throwing you to the fucking Wolves this year.
Yeah, but it's a bitch. It's like, who has one of the easiest schedules is the fucking Ravens. It's like, yeah, but we're not talking about the Ravens. Let's go. So week 3, who do we got, young Drew?
We got Tennessee going on the road again up in Minnesota playing the Vikings.
You mean Minnesota?
Minnesota.
Okay. I kind of like this right here. I kind of like you guys pulling off the upset, to be honest with you, because it's two teams. I think this game will be lower scoring even. It's two teams that kind of do the same thing. They just run. You know what I mean? And and just like Tennessee, right? Just like Tennessee's secondary is young. They have a whole new crop of youngsters over there in that Minnesota secondary. You know what I mean? Because they got rid of Rhodes, they got rid of Lanes. They picked up some pieces in the draft. It's week 3. I'm not sure. And yes, Coach Zimmer is he is a defensive guru, defensive-minded head coach. You got Gary Kubiak there taking over, because since Kevin Stefanski left. It's going to be two teams just trying to run like shit down each other's throat. But I think they're going to pick up some steam right here coming off a win. And I'm giving the upset on the road. I'm giving it to the Titans right here, bro.
I feel that I'm kind of struggling with this one because I don't want to be biased. I'm looking at someone like
don't be biased. Like if you're feeling Minnesota, you know what I'm saying? Mind you, this is just a predictions episode. It's not like, you know what I'm saying, like we have power in the universe, even though I do a lot of mushrooms and I feel like I'm one with the universe. You know what I'm saying? Because I am one. Universe, give me money. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? I'm saying though. I think the matchups, like, because listen, look at that front. That front, they had trouble stopping the run last season. It was uncharacteristic of a Minnesota defense. They weren't the greatest at stopping the run. They actually picked it up at one point, but then look at even when they played us in the playoffs, my Niners. We ran down their throat. You know what I mean? Like, unless all of a sudden, you know what I'm saying, they get it together again. Because, this is, like I said, it's uncharacteristic of a Mike Zimmer defense. You know what I mean? But, I mean, shit, sometimes things just happen, bro. Sometimes things change, and they don't just change back immediately. I'm giving this to Derrick Henry just having a game. And then even Tannehill being able to, because Tannehill kind of reminds me of a Kirk Cousins, where it's like, yes, they're both good quarterbacks, but they're, the coordinators over there are like, listen, yes, we know you can throw the ball, but we're gonna go ahead and just run like shit because we don't exactly trust you to the fullest. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, Tennessee also had trouble stopping the run, and with losing someone like Jarrell Casey, unless we pick up someone like Jadeveon Clowney, that would give me a little bit more confidence in him. I'm looking at someone like Everson Griffin on the line of the and Anthony Barr as the outside linebacker. They're just a physical group, and I see us struggling, but I also see us. I don't think they can hang with our weapons as far as like AJ Brown, Jonnu Smith, Corey Davis. So I think we could get loose throwing the ball. I think that's going to be a good game for Tannehill right there.
For sure. And so, but so which way are you going?
I'm going Tennessee.
Yeah! Hold on. Oh, I got so excited I missed on the Jamaicans. Yeah! Hold on, let's pretend that didn't happen. So tell me which way you going.
I think I'm going to roll with Tennessee.
Yeah! You know what I'm saying? Okay. All right. So let's go on. Let's go ahead on to week 4 and close this first quarter up.
Yeah, so week 4, we're hosting the Pittsburgh Steelers.
You know what's crazy? If I remember correctly, because I really was fucking hammered when I did the Blake episode, the BWB episode.
Yeah.
But if I remember correctly, I had Tennessee whooping that ass.
Oh, dude, I'm the same
I mean,
way.
you listened to that
see the
episode,
Titans
right?
losing.
Even though like listen, I will say that yes, the Pittsburgh defense is phenomenal, but you know what else is taking a hit is that Steelers front line, their offensive line. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and like, I mean, granted, I know Jarrell, like you said, with the loss of Jarrell Casey, but I mean, it doesn't matter with the personnel that's there. They still are always calling plays on defense to get after the quarterback. It's not like, okay, without Jarrell Casey, we're not trying to get after this quarterback. You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure.
And that line, and Big Ben, he's a sitting duck behind that
Yes.
line. You know what I mean? He's not a mobile guy by any means in his old ass age. Bro, I'm giving this one to the Titans because, and this is why I give this to the Titans too, because the secondary of the Steelers is questionable. They're predicated on their front seven.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never been a big fan of Big Ben. I see him struggling against us. I think Mike Vrabel's going to do a good job at getting after him, and I think
keep on
I see
talking.
us winning.
Keep on talking. My daughter was over here trying to run another trade offer by me. Hold on.
All right, for sure.
Yeah, love.
How y'all doing, Playmakers? Y'all doing all right? I'm hyped to be here. I fuck with this podcast heavy, and I'm glad we're brothers. Me and Bogard.
Oh yeah,
I'm hyped to be on.
bro. We are brothers, bro. We're brothers from another. I don't know. You know what's funny too is I definitely had a connection with you when you guys brought me on the episode. I was like, I fuck with young Drew. You know what I mean? Hey, listen, this is not a shot towards Eric by any means, but you know Eric, he's real reserved. Like, and I'm pretty sure and actually too, I felt so bad doing the NFL roast segment because I laid into his Green Bay Packers. So did you listen to that episode?
No, dude, I haven't gotten the chance yet.
Bro, check it out, cause like I laid into his shit so tough. Pause. I fucking like because I mean, listen. Okay, we're gonna veer off just for a second, bro. If you look at the Green Bay Packers schedule last year, it was fool's gold. They beat the Panthers and barely beat them. They lost to the Chargers, who were basically trash last year. They beat the Chiefs, but the Chiefs didn't have Patrick Mahomes. They struggled with the Matthew Stafford-led Lions on a Monday night, and with a couple bad calls from the referees in the Green Bay Packers' favor, probably would have gave it to the Lions. But
Definitely.
Right? And then they played the Lions again. It was David Blau. You know what I mean? They played who else did they play? They beat up the Raiders, as they should. That was the one game that Aaron Rodgers looked like Aaron Rodgers. You know what I'm saying? They beat up on the Chicago Bears, who were just a fucking mess last season. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, bro, when you go through their schedule, that 13-3 or 12-4, whichever one they had, I can't remember correctly, bro, it was fool's gold. And like, I remember Eric going, I give my whole entire spiel, like my whole entire take, and I'm just going in, just rapid fire, and he's like, that sounds like that was practiced. And I'm like, bro, I'm not only speaking the truth, but also because one of my best friends in the world happens to be a Green Bay Packers fan. So it wasn't the first time I had the argument, and he kind of fell victim to something that I was already just preaching. You know what I mean?
Bro, let me tell you, you know how frustrating it is going to school in Wisconsin and hearing all these Green Bay Packers and Milwaukee Bucks fans? I get fucking jumped on the daily because I've been saying.
And that's his name, right? Chump Dog.
Yeah. Dude, I get fucking jumped, dude. Fucking, I'll say something like the Titans are like better than the Green Bay Packers, which I believe they were. Dude, I'll get fucking jumped by everyone.
You mean R?
Yes,
Yes, R. Because I
fault.
actually second that.
Yeah. The Titans are better than the Green Bay Packers, but Jesus, if I say that at school, they just start pissing me off with how annoying they are.
Well, I mean, it's one of the greatest storybook franchises to date. Them Green Bay Packers. I put them up there with Steelers. Steelers, Green Bay Packers, Cowboys, and then and in that order. Steelers and Packers, they're like 1A, 1B as far as fan base across the nation. And then Cowboys, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Maybe I'll put them 1C because you know what I'm saying? It's like they're another fan base that'll just argue it to the death that they're the best all the time, right? And then I'll put my Niners there because even though, like, if anybody who knows, you know what I'm saying, especially where I'm from, like, you know what I'm saying, we usually spend our time arguing with Raider fans. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I bet.
Yeah, you know what I mean. But I look at those type of franchises where it's like Tennessee always has something to prove, man, because you know what I'm saying they're one of the younger franchises. You know what I'm saying? As far as like you and the Texans. The Texans, I think, have only been around for 18 years. You guys have been around since what, 96 or 97?
I feel like I should know that answer, but unfortunately I don't.
Yeah. When were you born? You were born in the mid 90s, right?
I was born 98.
98. Okay, so late 90s. Yeah. So when you were born, they actually went to the goddamn the Super Bowl, 99 even. You were 1 year old.
Yeah, it was 99.
Yeah, man.
98, the Broncos won it.
Yeah, that's right. They went to 90. They went back to back. Okay,
Yep.
So now where we at? You know what I'm saying? Because I just poured another shot. Actually, no, I didn't pour. I didn't pour another shot. I grabbed another beer. I'm gonna pour another shot. Where we at? Week 5 now.
Yeah, we just talked about how the Titans are gonna beat the Steelers' ass.
Yeah. You hear us, BWB? You know what I'm saying? Okay, so also, so week 4. So now I actually got you guys 3-1 right here, and you got it. You
3-1.
Yeah, you 3-1 as well. Okay, we rocking. Okay,
Yeah.
where are we tightening up next? Yo,
Ooh,
Drew?
this is another matchup that kind of scares me. We're playing the Buffalo Bills at home.
Man, okay, this is where Bogard, you know what I'm saying? Like I am definitely frightened of the Bills because my Niners actually play them as well this year. And like Josh Allen, even though he has a very low IQ as a human being, right? He's a fucking phenomenal QB. Like I call him the white Cam Newton. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, no, that's fair.
Well, because what is Cam Newton? Cam Newton is a quarterback with a big arm. He's wildly inaccurate, and he loves to call his own number. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's Josh Allen. You know what I'm saying?
When fucking Josh Allen did like the lateral in the play.
Oh yeah, that was
against the
funny.
Texans.
Yeah, because like I said, he has a very low IQ.
Yeah, I don't know, but
Josh Allen's the guy. Did you hear the story about Josh Allen getting stuck in a revolving door, leaving the hotel? So when he was a rookie, he was going to the combine. He was in Indy. He was in a hotel. And mind you, Playmakers, you guys can fact check me on this because I might be dressing the story up a little bit, but he was definitely going to the combine, leaving the hotel, and he got stuck in a revolving door. Fucking dumbass.
I became a massive Josh Allen fan. His rookie year, I believe I think he hurdled someone. Yep. And I was like, fuck, I like that guy.
I fucking love him, dog. And like, then and look at what he did with little to no weapons. Even though I'm a John Brown truther, my man, downtown John Brown. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And because downtown John Brown was able to catch those big, wild, inaccurate throws, and now you throw Stephon Diggs in the mix. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, they're gonna be dangerous.
Yeah, and they always have a top 3 defense.
Yup.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and where's this? Are they in Buffalo? Are they in in upstate New York over here?
No, they're in Tennessee.
They're in Tennessee. Okay. And is this game a regular game or is it prime time? I'm asking this because I need to preference this.
Yeah, it's a regular time game.
Okay, it's a regular time game because There's something about, Josh Allen, he barely plays in primetime, but when he gets in primetime, bro, he goes off. You know what I mean? I love intangibles. But you know what, though? As far as a person, matchup-wise across the board, I mean, we're talking Tre'Davious White. They even brought in Josh Norman, who's a hell of a secondary corner to have. You know what I mean? Then then you got that fucking line, that front seven even. You know what I mean? And then with the question marks on the line, with with Jack Conklin missing, and hopefully his predecessor can pick up the slack. I'm gonna go ahead and give this one to the Bills.
I feel you. Although I'm gonna have to disagree with you on this one.
Okay, I like it. Let's go.
Fucking embarrassed by the Bills last year. I see us coming out with a chip on our shoulder, and I see us at home. Also, I see us beating the Bills at home, coming off, the embarrassing loss we took to them last year.
Okay, so I love it. This is the first time we disagree. This is great because I'm gonna stand on what I believe in, and I want you to stand on what you believe in. So we're gonna go ahead. I got y'all 3-2. You got them 4-1 right here, and that locker room's going crazy going into week 6.
Oh yeah.
Also, let me know when you guys get to the bye week. You know what I'm saying? So I can make sure I know which week I'm talking about. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Maybe I can find a better thing. It doesn't show the bye week on here.
Okay, no, all good. That's not important anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay, bet.
Yeah. Okay. So now we're going into week 6.
Yeah, with our third. Let me double check. Yeah, with our third home game in a row, we're hosting the Houston Texans.
Woo! I'm giving this one to you guys, bro.
Oh yeah.
No. Here's my thing is because I feel like Bill O'Brien is like, hey, Watson, you're one of the best quarterbacks, and I believe it. So we're gonna go ahead and get the fuck rid of your best weapon. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
because
one of the worst moves.
Yeah,
the worst move in NFL free agency this past year.
Now look at the player matchups. Brandon Cooks, Will
by a concussion by now.
But look, Brandon Cooks, Will Fuller, with your rookie cornerback. You know what I'm saying? And then also, Dory Jackson. You guys are gonna be able to keep up with them. You guys got two fast corners. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to, and you guys are gonna. I feel like you guys are gonna be able to own time of possession because they can't stop the run either over there in Houston. You know what I mean?
I agree.
So you guys are gonna be able to own time of possession. It's gonna be a lot of playing from behind for the Texans. This is just how I view it, right? But I'm gonna go ahead and give this one to the goddamn Tennessee Titans.
No, I agree with you. I don't think their defense can stop our offense at all. I don't think their secondary is very good. J.J. Watt may give us some issues.
I mean, as much as you said Brandon Cooks would probably have a concussion, J.J. Watt might not even be on the field anymore by this point.
That's a good point.
I mean, him and Jadeveon Clowney were like, listen, let's make a bet who could play the least out of 16 games. Like, every year, there's like, hold my beer. You know what I mean? I'll show you. Sure. Like, yeah, because, J.J. Watt is a fucking beast of a man, but because he is that, he gets hurt a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
And it's always different injuries, too. Like, it's just like, he puts his body on the line. I respect him for that, but I will say, he can't do it all. I mean, I do love the fuck out of Merciless, though. I'm a Merciless truther.
Oh, yeah.
Whitney. And you know why I love Whitney Merciless? Because, real quick, side note, I feel like when you name your son a bitch name, it's because you're like, listen, son, I'm not going to be around as a father. I'm going to be shitty. I'm going to be a shitty father, so I'm going to name you Whitney. So you're going to have to fend for yourself all your life. Because people are going to
have to deal with bullies.
Yes, so you're going to grow up a monster, and you'll thank me later, son. Whitney Merciless. And he has Merciless in his name, like legit. Like that's a hell of a name.
It is a hell of a name.
Yeah.
But he's gonna catch this L against the Titans.
Yeah. Okay. So now I got y'all at 4-2. You got him at 5-1. Fucking locker room's going nuts.
Oh yeah. We're feeling a Super Bowl coming.
Woo! Okay. Where we going in this week, Schnevin?
Now we are on the road at Cincinnati.
Bro, I'm sorry, but I know you heard the BWB episode, right? Where we just kind of totally just disrespected and disregarded them. We don't even need to spend too much time on this one. 7-2.
Yep.
Oh no, not 7-2. My bad. Where we at? We're in week 7.
Yeah, so you have them
Week
at 6 and 2.
seven. Yeah,
I have them at 7 and 1.
6-2. Oh wait, hold on. My bad. 5-2.
Yeah,
Yeah,
5 and 2.
You know, my math usually gets better when I'm drunk. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But yes, 5-2. Dub. We're giving them the dub. Let's go. And you know what? I would have loved it too if I knew Cincinnati was coming, because I would have been like, we're on to Cincinnati. And then just be like, dub. You know what I mean? Okay. So now we're in the halfway point, right?
Yep.
We're in the halfway point of the year. After we break this game down, I'm gonna do the first the one intermission I like to do. I'm gonna play a tune. I'm gonna go ahead and run, take a piss. You can do the same, but we'll get to that after we knock out this week 8 matchup. Who do we got, young Drew?
We are at home playing against the Chicago Bears.
Damn, are you guys just playing home all the time? I feel like.
No, we got an away stretch coming up.
Oh, okay. So that's where they kind of even the playing field for y'all. They're like, we're gonna give them at home, basically the first half. Okay, so the Chicago Bears. You know what? Too. Shout out to my man, the Fantasy Fornicator. You know what I'm saying? It's the second time I reference him on this show because that's my man's. Shout out to my man, Smokey J. You know what I'm saying? Check out his podcast, Bears, Brews, and the Bros. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, one time, we're going to go ahead and...
A team that is known as the Bears.
Right? But check this out. Even he said it on his podcast when he was doing the Chicago Bears breakdown. Them Tennessee Titans is going to handle this one. Damn, I got you guys at, was that 6-2 now? Woo!
Yeah,
this is really how I feel. That's what's crazy. Now that I'm saying this out loud, like, oh, mind you, I was a Tennessee Titan truther last season. You know what I'm saying? I had you guys at 10-6. You know what I mean? And mind you, I might have been right if they put goddamn Tannehill in that goddamn Broncos game.
Exactly.
And going to a quick recap. You know what I'm saying? I did say the week 1 matchup could be a coin flip, so I might be right there at up to par with you as far as the record goes. Because the Tennessee Titans, they're finessing, bro. Like this is not far fetched right here. 6-2 at this point in the year. I mean, mind you, you guys are ruling ass at home. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay, so and I'm pretty sure you're backpacking me on this one.
Oh yeah, I see it being a low-scoring game. But I think our weapons are going to be a little bit too much. I don't think their offense will get much going at all. And I think
because it is a phenomenal defense.
Oh, definitely.
Personnel-wise,
yeah.
I mean, hopefully Chuck Pagano doesn't run them into the ground because Chuck Pagano is supposed to be a defensive-minded guy, and he obviously is the D coordinator over there. But when he was the head coach of the Colts, they had one of the worst defenses that I would always just start running backs against. And if you remember last season, actually 2 seasons ago under Vic Fangio, they barely gave up 100-yard rushing outings to opposing running backs, right? Last season they gave up like 4 of them joints. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, they're scary and physical defense. I just don't think their offense will be able to move the ball.
Yeah, man. I mean, even if it is the Biscuit or if it is Big Dick Nick, I mean, it's just I feel continuity is going to be the hardest thing for the Bears right now. You know what I mean? On offense.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Okay, well, check this out. So now we got them 6-2. You know what I'm saying? I've legit been holding this piss since like week 4, right? So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go find some tunes. I'm gonna play some off of Bogart Scott Free's album coming out. I love how I'm speaking to myself in the third person. Bogart Scott Free's album dropping this summer. It's TBD because of goddamn Corona. Like it kind of pushed me back, but we're gonna go ahead and play my track, Snow Bunny. You know what I'm saying? And that's a double entendre for cocaine and strippers. You know what I'm saying? White strippers. You know what I'm saying?
money. So it's only right I blow money. Bust it low, make it touch the flow for me. Then bring it right back, baby, no bunch. That's nobody, that's nobody, that's nobody, that girl, that's nobody. Full of that, oh man. QF got a check, just play boy money. I don't mean bleach blonde, but I'm talking snow bunny. That girl, keep the.
Yeah. Oh, I was supposed to be on repeat, just in case I can come back in time. You know what I'm saying? Okay. You know what's funny? I was running up the stairs. I was being real wary. I was like, man, just keep surveying the stairs, keep surveying the field, so I don't run into no goddamn landmines again. Hey, did that shit cut off or did it play out?
It cut off.
That's weird. Oh, you know what? Oh, it's because someone called me. You know what? Fuck that. We're going to run that thing back then. God damn it. You know what I'm saying? We got to promote this thing. And this album's dropping. You know what I'm saying? We're going to go ahead and run that thing one more again. Where's them at? Oh, yeah. Hold on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, wait a second. Hold on. You know what? Damn, I don't know what I do with it. Oh, yeah, that's right. Hold on. Text CJ.
What do you want to say?
Let me handle this thing one time. And we're going to go ahead. And I do want to play, I'm going to play another cut. You know what I'm saying? Off the album. Make moves. Quarterback shit. Check this out, Drew. I said quarterback shit when I'm under the center. Game plan sick, talking under the weather.
You know what we doing? I need that all expense paid inclusive.
I'm the plug, so I'm plugged into it. About money like I'm Jewish.
White Christmas, I'm Scrooge, bitch.
My mood is on cruise ship.
You ain't tuned in, you ain't vibing with my moon man. Move shit like Kerry. I'm the cold truth, let you read.
You know what I'm saying? Just a little snippet.
Okay, I feel you.
You know what? You do got iPhone? Bro, I'll send you the album. I'll send you the exclusive, bro. I can just text you all the joints. You know what I mean?
Bet. You gonna let me hop on the track?
Yeah, let's come on, young Drew. Come on, you know what I'm saying? You was a rapper. Remember, we already discussed this. You know what I'm saying? Hell yeah, bro. Listen, okay, check this out. All right, so now we done got through the first half of the season. You know what I mean? I like where we're going with this too, because this will probably upset a lot of my Texans homies and a lot of my my Colts homies. You know what I'm saying? But you know what? It's because I happen to believe the Titans are the joints in that, and I think they will admit it too. Deep down inside, they will admit that the Tennessee Titans are poised to take this division down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So now, and you know what I mean? You only had, in this first half of the year, you only had 2 divisional games. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
So it's really going to come down, because you know that's all that really matters, to be honest, is taking down this division. I mean, you guys got into the dance at 9-7, and with the addition of the 7th seed, you love that. You love your chances there.
Oh, yeah.
To be a wild card, if not take down the division. So now, young Drew.
Yup.
Weak Nina.
Now we are hosting the Indianapolis Colts.
Okay, like I said, okay, here we go. So now it's the first time you play this division rival. And where is this
Yup.
at? Oh, hosting. You said hosting.
Yeah.
Woo. Okay, this is kind of a tough one, bro. I almost don't want to go too crazy here. But at the same time, I'm like, at home, you guys are deadly at home. I mean, I remember 2 seasons ago, you guys beat the fuck out of the Patriots at home even.
Yup.
When you were at home, hosting the Patriots. Remember that?
Yep.
When Corey Davis was getting off nasty on Stephon Gilmore even.
I love it.
Right?
Yeah.
And in this case, you got Indy coming over. Indy is almost a fully revamped team. The best thing that team got going is that offensive line. And Phillip Rivers has never, ever, like shout out to Chris Jericho, ever had this type of offensive line, had this type of protection. And but see, okay, hold on, real quick, side note. Fill me on this. Don't you think if Phillip Rivers wasn't a quarterback, he would be like an extreme, multi-shock put gold medalist in the Olympics? Have you seen him throw the ball?
Yes, I have. It's probably one of the ugliest releases I've
Yes,
ever
like
seen.
he should have been a shot. He would be a gold medalist. Listen, there's a universe. There's a parallel universe where him and Michael Phelps got like 12 gold. They kick it. You know what I mean? Like he would be the Michael Phelps of shot putters.
No, yeah, I feel you. That release has always gotten me. That's why he can't throw the ball far.
That's what I'm saying. But you know what though? He will have time in this pocket. He will be able to drop 5-step, 7-step dropbacks. You know, Phillip Rivers, he had one of the quickest releases. Him and Brady, they always, and it made sense because their lines weren't the greatest. They had all this pressure coming their way. Where like Brady or Rivers, they averaged like 2.5, 2.2 seconds fucking release. Rah! You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now he might be able to have some time in the pocket to stretch the field for a T.Y. Hilton. T.Y. Hilton is still underrated to me. Like, people get so upset with him, especially in fantasy, because he just burns motherfuckers, you know what I mean? And he burns motherfuckers because when he has no Andrew Luck. And even when he had Andrew Luck that last season, goddamn, he was hurt a lot. Anyways, with all that said, I can't not give this one to you guys, bro. I mean, maybe Jonathan Taylor and Marlon Mack are getting off nasty, but the same way that you're afraid of not being able to stop the run, I think the Colts aren't going to be able to stop the run. They haven't been able to. I mean, I do love Leonard. I fucking love him as a player. Darius Leonard, am I saying his name right? His first name at least?
Yeah.
Fucking love
I
that
know you're
kid,
talking
bro.
about.
Phenomenal. Like, he can stop the run. You know what I'm saying? His tackle totals, always up there when he's healthy. Either way, though, he can't do it all by himself.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I just, you know what? I'll let you elaborate a little bit, but as far as I stand, goddamn, going to 7-2.
Yeah, I don't know who's going to win either of the games. I just have them splitting. Just
Okay.
because there's some aura about the Colts that has always driven me crazy that, Andrew Luck, beat us, 11 times in a row or something.
But come on, that's my man,
that.
Neckbeard. And remember how I talked about how Josh Allen's a fucking idiot? Right?
Yeah,
Andrew Luck is a Stanford grad, bro. He's intelligent. He actually is an architect for real. And you know why Andrew Luck retired? Because his body was all beat up, and now he wants to go design buildings and skyscrapers and shit, bro. Imagine if you're an architect, that's how he would view the playbook. He would view the playbook as an architect, like, okay, well, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna go ahead and build. We're gonna build a play like this, and hey, my Andrew Luck was pretty good, huh?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, Phillip Rivers ain't no Andrew Luck.
Yeah, I feel that. There's something about the Colts. I view them more than the Texans and the Jags as our division rival. I see us splitting, the season series. I don't know.
I do tend to agree though, because historically you guys play bad when you guys go to Indy. It don't matter who it is.
Yeah, exactly. So either we're gonna beat them at home or we're gonna beat them on the road. I see us splitting I see us splitting that one. So I see us probably winning at home and losing at Indy.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, ignore any background noise you hear. I got some activity outside the studio. This has nothing to do with my family. You know what I'm saying? I'm in a pretty active area. Okay, they're leaving. Okay, good. Okay, now, week 10, or as we call it in the West Coast, Big Ben, and we're not even talking about the rapist burger. We're talking about, you know what I'm saying? And this is dice talk. You ever shoot dice?
No, never.
When you roll a 10, you know what I'm saying? You shaking the dice, shaking the dice in your hand, right? And you need to hit that 10. Big Ben. So week 10, Big Ben is my friend. Where we going?
Unfortunately, I don't think it's going to be the Titans, friend, because I see an L coming this week. We're going
Wait, hold on, my bad. So you got them at, I got them at, my bad, I need to say this as a reminder to myself too, because I am putting tallies down right here on a piece of paper.
Okay.
So obviously, I'm just trying to remember your account. So you got them at, you only got them at 1L so far?
Yeah.
But then now, so I got them at 7-2. You got them at 8-1, and they're going to Baltimore or hosting?
Yeah, they're going to Baltimore. So I think it'll be the revenge game for the Ravens. Us putting them out of the AFC Championship game. I see them coming out ready, but I also see us coming out ready. I think it's going to be a close one.
It's going to be a bloodbath.
Yes. That game's going to be so fun to watch. I'm giving it to the Ravens, though, for right now.
You know what, bro? I tend to agree. I mean, Lamar Jackson, too. You know what's crazy, bro? We're seeing him as a passer, and I think, whoa, someone's honking the horn. We're going to see them. I told you it was getting ratchet outside real quick. You know what I mean? But I do see them, showcasing his arm a lot more this season. You know what I mean? Because,
definitely.
Because everyone's going to be ready for the run. And then, and Greg Roman, I love Greg Roman. He's also a product of the Niners before, you know what I'm saying? I remember when he was killing it with Kaepernick and goddamn Vernon Davis and Delaney Walker. And now he has extremely rich man's version of Kaepernick. How about this? Kaepernick's a poor man's version of Lamar Jackson. You know what I'm saying?
I like that.
He got Mark Andrews. You know what I'm saying? Who's fucking, and you know what's sad is I like to come up with nicknames. And Mark Andrews was one of my guys last year where I was like, everyone look at Mark Andrews late. The same way I'm looking at Jonnu Smith late. Because, in fantasy, the tight end position is very, very scarce. And it's very important to diagnose a late round guy if you don't want to reach early for an early round tight end. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
The same way I was preaching Mark Andrews last season, I'm preaching Jonnu Smith this year. And here's the thing. Is Mark Andrews, I had to come up with a nickname for him. And so, his initials are M.A., right? Mark Andrews.
Yeah.
And, when I was looking at how Lamar Jackson was dicing everyone up and slicing them up, I was calling him a surgeon. So I was like, well, every good surgeon needs the medical assistant. So I'm calling Mark, that's my nickname for Mark Andrews, the medical assistant. But, yes, I will give this one to the Ravens at home with the revenge narrative. You know what I'm saying? They're probably not going to allow any Tennessee Titans fans to buy tickets because that's how. No, seriously, that's my Niners. We hosted 2 playoff games this year, bro. There was not a Nair Vikings fan in there. There was not a Nair a Minnesota fan in there. There was not a Nair Green Bay Packers fan. Don't you know? You know what I mean? It was just, bro. We were just. It was a sea of red. You know what I mean? Red and gold. You know what I mean? And I feel like that it's gonna be all purple in that motherfucker. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, that's probably the game I'm most excited for. Is the Ravens game.
But I will say though, remember so far I've only had one game that I can give a coin flip to, against the Broncos week 1. I am gonna give this game as a coin flip, bro. I could because we've already seen it done. if you've done it once, you could do it again. That's what I always say. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But as it stands, I will go Baltimore, or as my homies from Maryland would say, Baltimore. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the only thing I got going for the Titans is I don't know really what adjustments the Ravens can make because they showed they cannot stop Derrick Henry. So I don't know how you switch up the game plan because I think he's just going to run all over
AJ
Baltimore.
Listen, I love Jimmy Smith. He's one of my top 10 cornerbacks. But bro, he's gonna need Earl Thomas's help stopping AJ Brown.
Oh, definitely.
You know what I mean?
And don't forget about my man, little speedster Khalif Raymond.
Okay, shout out
That
to
man caught an
Khalif.
absolute bomb against Baltimore in the playoffs.
He
Remember that
sure
50-yard
did.
bomb?
They were not looking at him. They were like, he was basically invisible to them. They were like, I remember them arguing with each other on defense. Like, who the fuck was watching them? Do you remember that?
Yeah. No, I was. Oh my god, I think I was like 7 beers in when that throw happened. I was fucking acting a fool in the bar in Wisconsin.
Yeah, well, you know what? Speaking of beers, I just cracked one and I just poured a shot. Salud, my brother.
Cheers. So yeah, although I'm going with the Ravens, I obviously won't be shocked if the Titans come out with that one. Although I don't think the Titans are going undefeated, so I'm gonna have to give this one to the Ravens too.
Bro, but you know what though? I honestly don't think it's far fetched. Listen, Playmakers. When I'm doing this series, like shout out to the past pod. You know what I'm saying? The Play Action Sports podcast. You know what I'm saying? That's episode 69. You know what I'm saying? Now available. You know what I'm saying? Also subscribe to the GMM Network. Shameless plug. Also, goddamn, make sure you put the Hot Take Cold Turkey on all your streaming platform playlists. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you guys pay attention. But you know what I'm saying? I did an episode. We covered the New York Giants. I had them going 8-8 because it's just like, and you know what? I think I was being generous because.
Yeah, that seems a little generous.
You know, for sure. But you know, when we went through the schedule, you know what I mean? And the same way I'm breaking this down now, and even the same way I broke down the schedule, you know, for the Steelers, you know, shout out to BWB. Also available on the GMM Network. Check that episode out. Shout out to Blitz with Blake. Also subscribe to all his isms. You know what I'm saying? Hell of a guy.
Fucking stud.
Stud, a gem, as he would call it, right?
A fucking gem.
A fucking gem, man. A fucking a beaut. A fucking beaut, man.
A fucking beaut.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, like, you know, I'm when I go through it, I'm looking like, and I will preference when I went through the Giants episode, 8-8 was the ceiling for them. You know what I mean? Same way I had my Niners as 11-5 as the ceiling. I also have our floor at 9-7. You know what I mean? And you know what I'm saying? So, but I will give this one. I will give this one to the Ravens. I got you guys at 7-3 here.
Okay.
Right? Yeah.
So I got them at 8-2, right?
8-2. All right. So now we're going into week 11.
And now week 11, we're playing at Indy.
I'm gonna give it like I tend to agree with you with the split. I'm giving this one to Indy because you know what I'm saying. Like it's in division matchups are always tough, especially especially sweeping in the division. You know what I mean? And in this case too, at home. And historically, you know, the Titans they struggle going into Indy, you know, into Lucas Oil. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. I agree with you. I think they're going. I think they're going to lose this one.
Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what though? If, you know, in honor of my man Young Drew, we're gonna go ahead and boo them. We're just gonna go ahead and boo them anyway. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. All right, let's go on to week 12.
All right, I have them on a 2-game losing streak right now. That shit is going to snap. We're going to get a dub at home against the Cleveland Browns.
Ooh, damn. Okay. This is where we differ again. Because, like, by this point, I feel like Kevin Stefanski in week 12 is going to be balling. He's going to have his team balling. I'm a Nick Chubb truther. You know what I'm saying? You know, bro, like, and which, like you said, with the question marks at being able to stop the run. And with Nick Chubb literally being the leading rusher all the way up until, what was it, week 15-ish? When was the last 200-yard game from Derrick Henry? It was late.
It was the last week, and Nick Chubb was the.
So
yeah,
Nick Chubb was the
week.
leading rusher. He was the title holder as far as leading rusher all the way up until the last week because Derrick Henry was like, "Hold my beer, Chubb. Let me show you how it's done, son." You know what I mean? And like Nick Chubb is just, I'm such a Nick Chubb truther, and like Adoree Jackson versus maybe OBJ or even Butler versus OBJ, and then you're gonna have the likes of Jarvis Landry and then what I'm saying, and then you're gonna have it's essentially like Baker is the guy who will fuck it all up, to be honest. But I feel like this Baker, we're gonna see a lot of Baker. You know what my ceiling for him is as far as passing yards, like 33 to 3,400. He's not going to be that great in the passing game because they're gonna make him more of a game manager.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But in this case, and where is this? This is on the road again?
No, we're at home.
This is at home. Damn, I think this will be the first home loss that I'm giving you guys. I'm giving this to the shitty Browns, the doo-doo Browns. So
I ain't mad at it. This is a heartfelt pick for me personally because, quick story time, when the Browns were, last season in the preseason, they were so hyped up,
Of course, for 2 years
people
straight.
People were picking the Browns to go to the Super Bowl and all this. And so we were going to Cleveland week 1. And we were
Smacked
the underdogs.
them.
So
with Mariota.
Yes. So I went
That was the
ahead
first A.J. Brown sighting. Remember that?
Yes.
I was like,
God.
oh my God, this kid right here. And I'm in competitive leagues because like honestly, I used to like try to like get in like leagues full of fish. My co-host, he loves doing this. My co-host will be in like 15 leagues for real every year. And like he loves to be in leagues full of fish because he wants to go in there and just take money, you know what I mean?
Okay, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I, on the other hand, I like to be in, anywhere between 5 to 6 leagues a year. This year looks like I'll probably be in 7 to 8. But I like to be in leagues that are concentrated, full of madness, fucking sharp individuals. Like myself. Like I like to consider myself one of those individuals where it's like, because it's pride involved, not only money. I like, what I'm saying? I'm talking shit. I'm cutting wrestling promos on motherfuckers. You know what I mean? I'm shooting them videos talking shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, but yeah, but in this case, maybe I am a fool because I was one of those guys hyping the Browns. I wasn't talking about Super Bowl aspirations. I was just talking about like being great on offense because I'm looking at it from a fantasy perspective. But in this case, man, I think we're gonna see this year your strongest point as far as an organization will be on offense versus defense because you guys had a great balance. You guys always have a great defense. But bro, the minusing Jarrell Casey is gonna and even like, that secondary being young, it's gonna be, I think, more predominantly an offensive team, the Tennessee Titans. And by this time of the year, I think we'll see that more. And you know what? And so I know you have them beating the Browns. Where do you got them at right here? You got them at was this 11? No, 10 and 2? Because we're in week 12, right? Correct?
Yeah, I think that's right.
Yeah, no. Take a look at it. You're playing the Browns right here. Is that week 12?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, week 12.
Yeah,
so I have them at 10 and 2.
You have them at 10 and 2, and you have them snapping. Yeah, because you have them snapping. You have them snapping that losing streak, that 2-game losing streak. So I have you guys at 9 and 3 right here.
Yup.
Okay, let's go ahead to week 13.
So week 13, I don't know if we need to spend much time on this one, but we're playing at Jacksonville. That's a fat dub for me. I think we sweep the Jags.
Dub. 10 and 3. And you got them at 11 and 2. Oh my God, this solidifies a playoff appearance. The locker room is going nuts. They're going hamburger. They're going bananas and coconuts. Yeah, okay. Fuck it. Week 14. Let's move.
All right, so after them, we're playing at home again against the Detroit Lions.
Damn, dog. I don't really feel we need to elaborate too fucking much. Oh shit! I got you guys at 11-3 right here. Oh shit! I know you got them at 12-2 right here.
Oh yeah, of course.
Bro,
I don't see a way we lose.
Listen, Playmakers. This might be the most bullish I've ever sounded, but I'm a Tennessee Titan truther. That's why I looked forward to this episode, to be honest with you. Like, and because the AFC is wide open. There's no coincidence. The casual fan won't agree with me, but this show, the Real Fantasy Playmakers, this show is not for the casual fan. This show is for Playmakers.
Yeah, I was so hyped to get on here and talk about my Titans because, you know, I hear all this hype about, you know, the Colts and the Texans and, the Titans were a Cinderella team.
Continuity.
They're not going to be able to do it again. Like,
Continuity, bro. Continuity is key. That's what you guys have over the other 3 organizations in your division.
Yep.
Look at the Texans. No more Nuke. No more Nuke Skywalker. Bringing in Brandon Cooks. Bringing in David Johnson. Question marks. Mm-hmm. Look at the Jacksonville Jaguars. I am a Gardner Minshew truther because he's so much fun. And I happen to believe that he doesn't even shave his mustache. That his razor sharp swag just does it for him. You know what I mean? It just grows that way. You know what I mean? He's rocking jean shorts. He's doing Pilates in fucking nothing but a jock strap. You know what I'm saying? you got goddamn the Colts who are a total revamp. You know what I'm saying? I'm not really in. Yes, you have Phillip Rivers there, who is familiar with Frank Reich. Frank Reich did spend time with the Chargers. You know what I'm saying? So there is that, there is some kind of, familiarity, but continuity is key. And that's what the
definitely.
Titans have. And that's why I think they're going to take this division down. And even beating the Chargers right here, the Jacksonville Jaguars for the second time, I think at this point of the year, that might even give you guys the division title right there.
Yeah, basically, I'd have to agree. Does it get to the point where you sit Derrick Henry, Like, if we're rolling like the way I think we are, like,
okay, well,
you
real
risk
quick.
injury?
Real quick, what other running backs you guys have? I know Deion Lewis is still there, but who else is there?
No, Deion Lewis actually
Oh,
left.
he's gone. Okay, so who is there then? Because this is actually a good question for me personally.
Yeah, we picked up a speedster. I think he went to Appalachian State. Darrington Evans.
That's right. I seen that name. Okay.
So yeah, he's gonna be. I assume.
But he's a total different game style of run there.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna complement Derrick Henry very well.
Yeah, better than a Deion Lewis would. God forbid you guys are playing from behind, right? You speaking as a Titans fan, right? God forbid you guys playing from behind, but then that's where we would enter this kid right here. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm excited for him. I think he may even return like some kicks or some punts for us too.
Yeah, because that would be better too, to have that role taken on by someone else than Adoree Jackson, because Adoree Jackson needs to get as much time on the field just and solely as a cornerback, because even though he's great at returning punts and kickoffs and shit like that, like, man, you guys are kind of depleted at that position. You got to preserve him.
I'm not trying to risk any injury.
Yeah. Because I actually am an Adoree Jackson truther. You know what I mean?
Yeah, same here.
I think you know what I'm saying, he has more in his repertoire than just being, the guy who covers the opposing fast wide receivers. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? Okay. So now I just took another shot, right? Help me out with my math here. Where are we at again? We're in week 15 now.
Yeah, we're at our. Oh Jesus!
And I have you guys at 11-3. You have them at 12-1. Dude, I can't wait.
12-2.
12-2. I can't wait to reference this episode if we're fucking correct on this, bro. Because
Oh man, it's gonna feel so good.
I feel strongly about this, bro. I mean, you've listened to the podcast. I've never been this bullish on anything, but
Yeah.
I love the Titans, bro. Like, and you know, I love the story of Tannehill. I do want to say that I hope Tannehill didn't get the bag and he's like kicking his feet up. He better act like he's still broke. He better act like he's broke, bro.
Yeah, if he pulls like an Albert Hainsworth, I'm gonna be fucking pissed.
Oh, god damn it! I haven't heard that name in hella years. Wow, he threw it back there.
Oh yeah.
Oh shit. Okay, so week 15er, you guys are on the road again, right?
Yeah, I have to apologize to your viewers because I have said, you know, the Ravens game is the game I'm most excited for. I forgot about this game because I will be there in person.
Listen, don't never fucking apologize, okay? Don't never. The Playmakers are very understandable. They deal with me. The Playmakers have to deal with me already, so yes.
All right, so Playmakers, young Drew will be in attendance at Lambeau Field when the Titans go to Green Bay.
Oh my god, I'm giving you guys that W because they cannot stop the run.
Not at all.
Stop
Not at
the
all.
run. Can't stop the run. You can't stop the run. Can't stop the run. Oh! Oh, I'm sorry, Eric. Should we patch in Eric? Should we patch him in? Bro. You know what will be funny, though? I do want to try to patch in BWB at the end of this. You know what I mean?
We can do that.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But yeah, but anyways, bro. Oh, I'm giving this to y'all. In this time of year, you're going to goddamn the fucking Alaska. The Alaska version of the NFL is Green Bay in December.
Yup.
And they are not going to want to tackle Derrick Henry.
Oh, not
He's
at all.
essentially an iceberg with the ball in the winter. Bro. And you know what an iceberg is, right?
Oh, yeah.
An iceberg is, I know that was a stupid question, but I'm saying an iceberg where you only see the tip. You don't know what's underneath that surface. Right?
Yeah.
Where it's like, and then they start trying to attack it. And they're like, oh god damn, this motherfucker is massive. And that's Derrick Henry in cold weather.
Yup. Yup.
In the frozen tundra.
And I gotta tell you, this is my Christmas present to myself. Going, because I go to school in Wisconsin, like I said, going to Green Bay, I will be decked out and ready to talk my shit. When the Titans get this dub.
Talk
at
that
Green Bay.
shit, young Drew.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Damn, I got you guys at 12-3. This is fucking crazy. Now we're definitely in contention for like that top seed, even right here. This is crazy, Playmakers. This is crazy, Playmakers, because I actually believe in this shit. Listen, I don't bring on a motherfucker and I'm just gonna ride your John and be like, yeah, oh, Tennessee Titans, yeah, they're great. No, I'm actually you guys look at any of my other episodes where we're covering individual teams. I will shit on the team if they're worth shitting on. You know what I mean? In this case, this is not the case. You know what I mean? Like I'm actually tightening up on this motherfucker. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Bro,
yes, I'm so hyped.
Hey, side note, real quick. Hold on. Let's speak this into existence. Niners, Titans, Super Bowl. Let's get it. We should have had it last year.
Shit.
We should have had it last year. But yes,
Yeah,
you know what?
you should've.
Yeah, we will speak that into existence. But at the same time, okay, week 16.
All right, since
Okay, hold on. We lost him again for a second. He'll be back.
come back
There he is.
right
Boom.
before that happens, we can talk our shit.
Right? Oh, yeah, for sure. Oh, we talking a gang of shit. You already know. Come on now. You know what I'm saying? We'll get Blake to host it even so we can do a nice little NFL roast type of shit. You know what I mean? Yeah.
That sounds good.
Shout out to Blake. Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's go. Where we going? Week 16 over here.
All right, we may have messed up our math a little bit because this is the last game on the schedule.
No, for sure. No, this is last game.
Oh yeah, my fault.
Yeah, because we don't know. We didn't have to list the bye week. So yeah.
Oh, true. Okay, so the last game of the season, we're on the road playing against the Texans.
Man, damn. You know what's crazy is because, bro, my first initial reaction is to just have y'all sweeping them. To be honest.
Yeah.
And I don't even want to do the split. Like I really just have you guys sweeping them, but I'm hesitant because it's like, damn. I will say, okay, how about this? I have you guys taking a dub here. Which would definitely put you guys at 13-3, which would definitely be in contention for one of the top seeds. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah,
I mean, with the coin, and I will give this one a coin flip. Just same way I gave the Broncos. So the preference, to preference this, I would give your guys' floor 10-6, which is even better than what I gave my Niners, and your guys' ceiling is 13-3. Oh, that's fucking phenomenal. I'm so big on the Titans, it's crazy, dog.
Yeah, I have too. We've just been flying under the radar for so long. It's just
not to me.
Well, yeah, to like the national media.
Go to week 1. Go to episode 1 of the Real Fantasy Playmakers, and check out my Titans take last season. Like I was, and my fucking co-host was just laughing like, "Bro, are you serious?" I'm like, "Yeah, bro. The fuck, like, I do the X's and O's. I do the work. Where and I watch the film. I'm not just a stat-driven guy. I'm a film guy too. You know what I mean? Where it's like, bro, and not even just a film guy. Like, I actually watch the games. Like, I consume my Sundays are Red Zone. Mondays, I watch all the condensed versions of the games. You know what I'm saying? So I can watch every game within 15 to 20 minutes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then and I'm watching it fast forward because I just want to see everything. What I missed because I'm watching. Because I'm fantasy orientated, so I'm watching everything on Red Zone on a Sunday. Red Zone, give me money, right? But bro, like, you know what I'm saying? This is just, brother. I do this, like, and the Titans are fucking. Not only do they have great personnel across the board. Mind you, the Jarrell Casey thing, too, could trump everything I'm saying. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A lot of it. Both of us. You know what I mean? Because that's a massive fucking, loss. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, I mean, the fact that if you remember, okay, how about this? I will relate it to the Seahawks last season. The Seahawks defense, completely trash. But their numbers weren't as bad because of the fact that on offense, they were running the shit out of Chris Carson, owning time of possession, and they were able to mask the fact that they had a bad defense.
Yeah.
So at least in that case, they were able to extend drives, keep their defense fresh, and when their defense came on the field, they were able to play their style of defense with a lead. And that's what I see the Titans doing this year.
Yeah, the Titans, I think it's worth mentioning, I believe they were the number one, they had the number one red zone percentage that ended in touchdowns.
Yeah, they sure did.
And they were I believe they led the NFL in point differential in the second half.
Oh, yeah.
So if we're playing with that lead with Derrick Henry, like, we can extend that lead too. So, I think we're dangerous.
Think of this. I know you remember Mariota's rookie year and in his sophomore year. That stat continued. Like, they were deadly in the red zone. Even though it's a whole different offensive coordinator staff nowadays, from then. It's just, I guess that's just historic right now for as far as the past, 5 years. You know what I mean?
I think it was something crazy like the Chiefs in the AFC Championship game. That was the first field goal that we took in that game since I think it was like week 10 or something.
Suckup was hurt for the most part during the year where they didn't even trust the goddamn kicker that replaced him, so they were just going for it, and they were successful. So you're right, that was one of the very first attempts. First of all, Ryan Suckup is always going to have a special place in my fraternity in fantasy because I remember when the Titans went to Levi Stadium and played my Niners back in 2017. It was December, like mid-December, right? And I remember Ryan Suckup. I remember I had Ryan Suckup who had kicked me into the playoffs for real. Because, remember Mariota, he would just get him in position. And then Ryan Suckup was legit. But then that morning, I remember switching Ryan Suckup out for my man Robbie Gould. And Robbie Gould put up like 30 in fantasy for me. Like 20-something, actually. But I remember loving Ryan Suckup so much that, like, I remember waking up that morning, I was like, he has suck in his name. And I was like, you know what? I got to go with my mans. Right? And like, but I love him so much that he got me to that point. Cause bro, like, it was just incredible, bro. Like, I remember a Monday Nighter, 2017. I remember a Monday Nighter. It was the Titans in Indy. And they squeaked out a win. But it was like 4 field goals kicked by Ryan Suckup. And like, I just remember I don't really hold on to kickers. Like, you know what? First of all, I don't ever advocate for kickers in fantasy, but I do want to say that my kicker strategy is always just get someone on a Monday night because, like, it's like kind of like a last ditch effort, like, what I mean, just in case I need something, or maybe I have like a lead but it's not that great, and I'm like, okay, at least if I have a kicker, he can add to my lead, or in this case, maybe I'm trailing just by a little bit, and I can just like, come on, kicker, on a Monday, you know what I mean, like. Or, maybe I even have a player already, a skill position on a Monday. And then I can add a kicker as well. It's like, that's my strategy with kickers. I always stream kickers. But I remember that year in particular, Ryan Suckup was just like good for 15 points a week. He was just killing it. And like, bro, I'm always going to appreciate him for getting me into the playoffs. And even though I switched off from him to Robbie Gould in that particular game, and I watched Robbie Gould kick me into the Super Bowl that year, and I went on to win. You know what I mean? I even ended up switching my kicker that year too, because I remember it was like the Eagles and the Raiders on a Monday night, and I picked up fuck is his name, dude, from the Eagles? I can't remember the kicker's name right now. I'm so drunk right now. I usually know, I know everything, and right now I'm just forgetful. But yeah, so. I got you guys finishing at goddamn 13-3, but there is some coin flip games where 10-6 is a floor, and that still almost guarantees a playoff rebirth because of the goddamn 7th seed. You gotta love that.
Oh, for sure. I'm super ecstatic for this season.
Yeah, man. Okay, how about this? Let's have some fun real quick.
All right, let's do it.
Call Blake. Oh, how about this?
All right.
FaceTime audio call Blake.
Okay.
I'm telling Siri.
Oh.
Actually, can you 3-way? Is that possible?
I think so. It shows here I can add a call.
Ooh, let's do that. Let's try that. Because my phone's geeking. If it doesn't work, I'll try again.
All right.
Yeah, let's see if we can get BWB here. This will be great. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Damn, what do I have Blake in my phone as?
It's funny too because when he had text me, you know what I'm saying? You know how with the iPhone it has his whole name. And I was like, damn, even his last name is Player. He has one of those player names. Like he sounds like a name, like a designer brand. I don't want to say his last name out loud on air, obviously. But you know his last name. Doesn't it sound like a designer brand?
Oh, definitely. It just sounds bougie or something.
Yes, there you go. It sounds bougie. I love it.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and see if I can merge.
Okay. We're gonna see if we can make this. We can turn this thing all the way up. Yep, time out. Oh, did he hang up? Oh no, he's still there. Okay, he's trying to see what it do. He's trying to see what it do. Let me go ahead and text Drew. Just in case for some reason it hangs up, go ahead and FaceTime audio call that same number back. Okay.
Hey, I don't think you could three-way on here.
Okay, well, you know what? Let's go see if I can patch him in. FaceTime audio call Blake.
Making a FaceTime audio call.
Yeah, okay, here we go. Here we go. Let's see what we can do here.
What up?
BWB.
Yo.
BW. Is that you?
Yeah, what up, man?
Okay, check this out. You're on air. I got one half of Hot Take Cold Turkey on the line. My man, Young Drew. We're on the Real Fantasy Playmakers. We're sewing up this episode, right? But I was like, let's go call BWB. What's happening? Hey, Drew, can you hear him?
Yeah, I can hear him.
Yeah. Hey, and you know what? You know Drew? He's a rapper now, and he's Young Drew. That's his name now. Young Drew. You know what I'm saying? What's happening, BWB?
Chillin', man.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, I actually want to formally thank you, man, for you know what I'm saying, for introducing me to the likes of Eric and Drew, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and I'm gonna get Eric on next pretty soon here, probably next week. You know what I mean? And you know, we're just spreading all the love, man. We're supporting each other. This is fucking phenomenal, man. I love it. And to preference, I am fucking hammered right now. You know what I mean? That's what. You know what I'm saying? I know it's a little late. I know you probably have work. You know what I'm saying? We got you for like 5 minutes?
Yeah, for a little bit. I got you.
Yeah. Okay, now, tell me about the hippie titty story.
What the fuck you talking about?
You remember you had sold a car, right? I remember the last time I spoke with you, you had closed the deal, right? And you were like, bro, she showed me her tits. I need to hear this story.
Oh my god, this is gonna be on air, dude.
Bro, we're not saying any names. I mean, but you did tell me I got to tell you the story one day. You know what I'm saying? Let's have at it.
Okay, so basically, I sold a car to, it was a young lady and her husband, and her kids are there.
Right.
We got to talk about how, like, I'm trying to build rapport, because at this point, I've already sold the car, but I'm trying to, like, be entertaining while I'm waiting for my finance guy to get set up.
Of course, because you gotta kind of own time of possession, right? Like you don't, even though it's sold up, you don't want them to act, have time to change their mind for some reason, right? So you gotta kind of keep them engaged.
Exactly, because
right?
Low key, what a lot of people don't realize is, even though you sign a purchase agreement, the deal's not actually done
until it's done. So you're waiting for your finance guy to fucking put your fat foot on the gas pedal, goddammit.
Yeah, so I'm waiting for that, and I'm just talking some bullshit, and the husband's like, oh yeah, we got a husky, and I was like, no shit, me too, I got a husky. So we get to talking about huskies.
Do you really got a husky?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, nice. So it's nice. So it's the universe shit. It's no coincidence. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, usually in that situation, I might fib a little bit and be like, I have a Great Dane.
Oh, you got a Doberman? Me too.
Yeah, I really do have a husky, though.
Nice. I love huskies.
Yeah, they're cool as shit.
Huskies give me money.
Exactly. Come on, huskies. Come on. Give us all of the loot.
Yes. Go fetch the money, husky. You know what I'm saying?
So basically, I'm like talking to this couple, and their kids are there, and I told them, like, what I was gonna do is I was gonna take their kids from the finance room, and I was gonna just chill and watch Cartoon Network with them, because it was the end of the day. So I'm like, you know what? I'm selling a car. I'm gonna watch Cartoon Network with these kids, and entertain them, so they're not prolonging the process. And as we're talking about huskies, I show them a picture of mine, and the mom is like, oh, you know, I'll show you a picture of our dog. And
I love how you lightweight were breaking into the Wisconsin accent. I would imagine, right? They're Wisconsinites.
oh yeah.
Yes. Okay. Continue.
So basically, like, she's looking for a picture of her dog. Her kid kind of peeks over her shoulder. She turns, and the phone is facing me at this point, and her husband's looking down. I was typing something on the computer, and I thought she was about to show me a picture of the dog. So I turn and look, and the phone is clearly facing me. And she was like, "Do not hover." And it's a picture of her tits
Of her rat.
on the phone.
Yes. Yes. Hey, work. Hey, that just makes work that much more special. It's like,
Dude, I was fucking
Did you-
frazzled. I was like, "Whoa!"
was she aware? She was doing this on purpose, I'd imagine.
See, that's what a lot of people have said.
Bro, like, come on, bro. I mean, like, that's not a mistake. She even made sure her kid veered their eyes. Like, look over there, while I show this man my boobs.
It was crazy, dude. It was a wild scenario. It was kind of funny, but yeah, they're happy they left, and
And you did say they were hippie. She was a hippie, right?
yeah.
Yeah. So you know. Listen, I am a hippie myself, and I will tell you this: when I'm at home, I'm basically walking around butt naked. I don't give a fuck. I'm a hippie. I'm one with the wilderness, one with the universe. You know, I'm eating mushrooms, all the shit. She was probably like, remember when you text me, right? You're like, I just sold a car to a hippie. I go, well, does she have armpit hair? And you're like, no, but she did definitely show me her boobs. And I was like, yes. Such a hippie move right there. And I'm from Northern California. I'm not far from Berkeley, where hippies basically originated. You know, free, peace, and love. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, yo, everyone sees a titty. You know what I mean? Let's show titties. Yes.
It was wild.
I love that I got to tell a story. You to tell a story on the goddamn real fantasy playmakers. I would have hit Jamaican horns right now, but I have you on my phone right now. My other phone. Fuck it. Titties. Beep, 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 beep. Yeah, man.
It was wild.
Well, yeah, well, shit. Well, how about this? You know what I'm saying? Now that I got both of you guys on, you know what I'm saying? I do want to thank you guys, man, just for existing in the world. You know what I mean? Because I strongly believe in the universe. You know what I mean? You know, the mushrooms remind me all the time. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I'll be doing mushrooms. I'm going to do mushrooms again tomorrow night on the Rum Boys Fantasy Network. At Rum Boys After Dark. Everyone tune in. All you playmakers out there, always, you know, be sure to catch Bogard with you know what I'm saying, with my other colleagues over there. And bro, I just love that we're all together, man. You know what I'm saying? You guys, you know, whether it's Hot Take, Cold Turkey, or it's Blitz with Blake, the content is phenomenal. Or as my man BWB would say, it's a gem. It's a beaut. It's a beaut.
It's a fucking beaut.
It's a fucking beaut. You know what I mean? Bro. You know what I'm saying? I just, you know, I am very grateful. You know what I'm saying? For being alive myself, for existing. You know what I mean? And you know, having colleagues like you guys, it makes what we do unfair. It's basically for fun, right? We're just having fun, dog. Like, and if you know, I am the Gimme Money Network. If we can get money off this shit, fucking, it's a bonus. It's the cherry on top, because either way, it's fulfilling to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, just being involved and correlating with individuals like you young men. You know what I mean? Because, you know what I'm saying, I do have, like, you know, 8 or 9 years on you guys as far as my existence on this rock we call Earth. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, and somebody's blowing up my phone. But anyways, bro, I want to thank you guys, man. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I mean? Like, if not for Robbie, I wouldn't have met Blake, and if not for Blake, I wouldn't have met, you know, Drew and Eric. And you know, we're here now, man. And at the end of the day, it might not even matter how we all came together. We are together. You know what I'm saying? And And Playmakers, you're gonna continue to see these guys as reoccurring guests on my platform. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? While we how about this? Blake,
Yeah.
can I do an honorary NFL roast, just one round real quick? Do we have enough time with you on this?
Let's do it.
Yeah? Word.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go. We'll just do one take each, so we won't take too much time, right? And I'd imagine, I mean, egotistically speaking, right? Being a Niner fan, let's go ahead and try to have y'all attack me first.
I'm new to this, so Blake, you got first dibs.
Okay, you basically have to, it's kind of circa hot take cold turkey, my brother, right? You basically got to just shit on me and my Niners, right? And I will have the opportunity either to rebuttal or to agree with your take. So let's give an example. Shout out to Eric, the other half of Hot Take Cold Turkey. When he set it off against me, he goes, "I think the Niners' best days are behind them." And then boom, he dropped the mic, and then I rebutted. You know what I mean? So we'll go ahead and let BWB set this thing off. Light my Niners on fire.
All right. Well, I'm going to say the same thing I said in my show. And I also said it on your IG Live. And, I mean, how do you feel about the fact, honestly, that your best defensive back right now is a cover 3 cornerback that's losing a step? He's, he had a decent year.
He's going there. He's going there.
In reality, he's getting old. He's getting up there. And that secondary, it's got to be a position where you look at it as a whole and you got to just think, man, our secondary is not that great.
Yeah. I tend to have to agree. This is one of those cases where I gotta lay it down right here. I gotta wave the white flag on your take. Bro, I am so fucking worried about our secondary. That's why our floor is record-wise, to me, is 9-7. And greedy enough as I am, I'm giving us 9-7 because I still think that could be enough to get in as a 7th seed. But bro, we've seen Uncle Sherm give up big plays to Stephon Diggs when he was with Minnesota. You know what I mean? When Devontae Adams, I don't you know, was going ahead and shitting on us in the NFC Championship, which was their one shining moment in that game. You know what I mean? Or even on the biggest stage, the grandest stage of all, in the Super Bowl, where Sammy Watkins, who actually believes that he derives from lizards, you know what I mean? He burned the fuck out of Richard Sherman. He actually thinks he's a lizard, and he burned the fuck. I don't even, bro. So I tend to agree with you. I can't rebuttal that one. Go ahead, young Drew.
Well, I bet you're still having nightmares.
Hold on one second.
Overthrow.
Hold on one second.
Super Bowl.
Hold on, young Drew. Go ahead and run that back. You were kind of cutting in and out. Go ahead, run that back. BWB.
Yeah.
Okay, well, yeah, no, I was gonna say because this kind of happened here and there. Are you in that same area, young Drew?
No, I'm back in the area.
Okay, there it is. Okay, run that back. I want to make sure you're shitting on me. You know what I'm saying? to the fullest. You know what I'm saying? And listen. I may or may have not have had something to do with you cutting in and out right there. I was like, you know what? Make them distorted right here. You know what I'm saying? Allegedly.
I was just saying you may want to invest in maybe in another quarterback because of that throw Jimmy G had in the Super Bowl. You may have had another ring on your finger if Jimmy G could have completed that one.
Okay, I have a rebuttal here. It's the same. There's two rebuttals here. There's a part 1 and there's a part A and B. So part A is you guys need to thank me as human beings in the United States. Thank me and me because I'm representing the Niners. Because the Niners saved the world. Blake already knows my take on this. But Drew, I want you to ask me, how did the Niners save the world?
Bogart, how did the Niners save the world?
Young Drew, let me answer your question. So, the earliest corona cases that were documented in Kansas City was March 18th. You can probably look this up, right?
Okay.
So this is well a month after the Chiefs won the Super Bowl. A month well after the parade, to be specific. And yes, the Chiefs aren't the greatest fan base in the world. Even though with Patrick Mahomes now winning the Super Bowl, there's going to be young wee tykes, young children all across the world right now. They're going to grow up Chiefs fans because of my man Patrick Starfish, straight from Bikini Bottom. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Right? But
Yeah.
the Niners, they are a storybook franchise. They are historic. We do have fans across the world and across the nation. And if we would have won the Super Bowl, we would have had the greatest, grandest fucking parade. And our earliest corona cases documented were late December, early January. You know what I'm saying? So if we would have won the Super Bowl, and to preference this, my girl's a nurse. Shout out to Mrs. Bogart, right? Where like she was very aware of this shit. She's on the front line. Where like everywhere we went during the month of January, we're wearing masks. You know what I'm saying? Already. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know what I'm saying? It was out here, tough. It was running rampant. You know what I'm saying? We had large Asian communities. You know, people were, coming to and fro from China because of Christmas and all the shit, bro. It was just nuts. You know what I'm saying? Vice versa, people going there and coming back and just all the shit, etc. Right? Mind you, even my girl, she was trying to give me shit because she's a diehard Niner fan. Her and her whole family, just like me and mine. Right? Where she was like kind of jealous that I was going to the playoff games. Right? And she'd be like, "You really gonna risk yourself going out to big crowds?" And I'm like, "Baby, there's nothing you could fucking say that I'm not gonna go to these fucking games, baby." You know what I'm saying? But anyways, right? I'm just prefacing this because if we would have had the biggest, baddest parade, if we won the Super Bowl, right? If we won the goddamn Super Bowl, bro, people would have come from states away. Imagine all the Niner fans that were from the Bay Area and then moved elsewhere, or like people that, had mothers and fathers that, were Niner fans, and then, they might have lived in Wisconsin or Ohio or wherever the fuck you may be. And you were a fucking Niner fan, and we won the parade, and we haven't won a Super Bowl in over a quarter century, 26 years to be exact. Motherfuckers would have flew in and joined in on the parade. All the goddamn trolling ass Raider fans that are out in the Bay Area, they would have been in the parade because they would have been trying to fuck all these Niner bitches out here. You know what I'm saying? They would have been out here. Blunts are getting passed around. Bottles are being passed around. Motherfuckers would have been swapping spit. People would have been fornicating in the streets. This shit would have been fucking bananas and coconuts. People would have went home to where they're from, and they would have brought home potentially the worst parting gift ever, which we know as now the COVID-19. It could have spiked the pandemic worse than ever, what it is right now. And then our Niners would have been hated across the world because we might not even been talking about football right now because it probably would have been worse than it is. So when Emmanuel Sanders was wide open, my man, handsome hero Jimmy, he looked at wide open Manny Sanders and he was like, "It's time to save the world!" And he fucking overthrew him. Boom. Now, part 2, part B. I love Nick Mullins. He's also what they is referred to as Big Dick Nick. I know Nick Foles is Big Dick Nick, but that's what they also refer to Nick Mullins as. And Nick Mullins, I think if we didn't have Jimmy G, there won't be a massive drop-off as far as production. I think even he's more mobile then Jimmy G is also. So I will rebuttal that. I am wearing the Homer hat right now. Bam. Okay. Let's go. This is the Titans episode, so we'll save this for last. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
Let's go ahead to BWB. Let's go ahead and shit on his Steelers one time. Right? Because Playmakers, you guys are familiar with BWB. He is a Steelers fan. Also, check out that episode. It's a great listen. Very insightful. You know what I'm saying? Definitely dial up some Deontay Johnson. You know what I'm saying? Late rounds in fantasy. But yeah, so I'll let you set this one off, young Drew.
Well, I think the Steelers are the most irrelevant historic franchise in American sports right now.
Okay, continue.
I think I can only name like maybe 3 or 4 players on the Steelers roster, and that's like being generous. You guys are such a historic franchise. I still don't know. Like, I couldn't name 10 players on the Steelers roster right now.
Okay, name your 3.
Oh, shit. All right, you got Big Ben back. I believe you still have James Conner.
Big Juju.
You had Antonio. Oh shit, Antonio Brown left. You had Le'Veon.
Oh, that was a shot.
Le'Veon
Oh,
Bell
these are
left.
double shots. These are double shots. I like it.
I thought you had Le'Veon, but I forgot Le'Veon left.
Well, you know, he's pursuing his rap career.
And yeah, Juju Smith. I guess that's the third one I'm gonna have to go with.
Okay, so I like that. Okay, let me reiterate what young Drew said. Playmakers and BWB, who is also a straight up playmaker in the game, right? He happens to say that you guys are the most overrated historic franchise. Irrelevant. Well, you know what? I'm throwing a shot.
Oh man, dude, I don't really understand that take at all. I mean, we're tied for the Super Bowl wins in the NFL. We had one of the greatest defenses of all time in the Steel Curtain. And I mean,
shout out to Terry Bradshaw. Also,
I don't know how you exactly, dude. And if you can't name more than 3 Steeler players, it's just interesting because we damn near had the same record as your squad last year.
He legit did.
But who was in the playoffs?
Oh, shots fired.
Who's got more rings, dude? Who's got more rings?
Oh.
Who's been more relevant?
You guys are historic. I said you guys are historic. It's just right now you guys are irrelevant.
Well, who's been more relevant in the past? Well, since 2000. Well, who's been more relevant of all time? The Steelers. Who's been more relevant since 2000? The Steelers. Who's been more relevant since 2010? The Steelers. Who was more relevant last year? The Titans. You guys got one on us. Chalk
Okay,
it
so
up.
let me preface this.
And we're looking towards the future,
Hold on,
Mr. Blake.
Let me preface
Oh, I
this.
can't
So
wait
he's
to
telling you,
explore.
young Drew, he's telling you in the Titans' existence, which is what, since '98, right? So in the Titans' existence, he's saying that, you know, and okay, how about this? Fuck everything before that with the Steelers, right? In the Titans' existence, he's saying they've been more relevant.
That's true. I'm saying right now at this point, they are irrelevant.
Okay. BWB.
That's a bold comment. I mean, you guys don't. I mean, we'll see this year. We play you guys this year.
I tend to agree.
Oh, I know we do,
Listen,
Blake. I know we do.
okay,
Fucking man,
BWB.
fun.
BW. I tend to agree with young Drew as far as if we're talking about right now. I tend to agree with young Drew. I'm a Titans truther right now, and I was last season too. You can Playmakers go back to episode 1 of the Real Fantasy Playmakers when we are going through the 2019 predictions. I had the Titans at 10-6, and they goddamn went 9-7. But you know what I'm saying, like, there was that game against the Broncos where it's like if they would have made that switch to Tannehill a little earlier, might have seen a little difference. You know what I mean? It might have went 10-6. It might have made me correct. You know what I mean? But okay, how about this? All right, you know me. I'm gonna go ignorant. Big Ben Rapist Burger. Right? I am not even technically worried. I am legit worried about this Tommy John injury. I mean, okay, I'm glad that Drew's here. Jake Locker's the only other quarterback that I can remember in recent history that came off a Tommy John injury and did not look anywhere near how he looked before that. And he was way younger than a Ben Roethlisberger. I know every man is built different than the next man, but if I can use that as a frame of reference, I'm really worried about Big Ben, or maybe I'll call him Old Ben. You know what I mean?
So you're worried about him?
I'm worried about him looking shitty, coming off this Tommy John.
I mean, you got to think there's been more quarterbacks than you realize that have UCL issues. Carson Palmer, which Playmakers, the UCL, for those of you that aren't fully aware, is the
ligament.
ulnar collateral ligament.
Yep.
On the inside of the elbow, and that's once that snaps, that's what Tommy John surgery is getting it repaired.
Who is this Tommy John? Because you know they usually name surgeries after like a person who made the injury famous. Is there a Tommy John? Does he exist?
Yeah, Tommy John is definitely a person. He's a baseball player.
Okay, that's right, and he was a pitcher. There you go.
Yeah.
That's right.
his full
Okay.
name, Thomas Edward John Jr. Played for the Dodgers.
That's right. You're right. Ooh, okay. So now let's use this as a frame of reference. How did he come back after that injury? I know you're a baseball guy.
Well, okay, so the original Tommy John, the guy the surgery is named after, he didn't come back from it completely like you see now, obviously. He was injured a long time ago, and the surgery's made leaps and bounds since. But,
True.
I mean, if you look at, like, other quarterbacks that have had it, Josh Allen had UCL issues.
Word. No
And
fucking
look at
way.
him. Yeah, he's fucking balling out. He didn't.
Is that
so-
why he has so he still has the giant arm, but would you say that attributes or contributes to his wild inaccuracy?
Yeah, dude, because what a lot of people don't realize is actually what the ulnar collateral ligament actually controls is, and the reason you see baseball guys have this injury more frequently is actually that motion where you get to the top of your arc and you're getting ready to snap your arm forward, and you see like a baseball player is at like a 90-degree, right, and all they got to do is flip their forearm forward.
Mm-hmm.
The UCL is actually the ligament that snaps your arm forward. That's like why when you see a baseball player hurt it, you see the ball fly off into the dugout to the right or left or somewhere random. When I hurt mine, the ball flew from my hand into the home dugout on the third base side.
Oh shit! So you actually can speak personally on said Tommy John injury.
Yeah, that's why I couldn't. That's why I couldn't play baseball my senior year, and it's the same reason why I couldn't play semi-professionally in the summers anymore, because I like physically can't throw a baseball anymore like I used to.
Okay, so with that said, are you, from your personal experience with this, with old ass Big Ben Roethlisberger, are we worried about him then?
I'm not, for several reasons. Number
Okay.
one, he's a guy that plays through injuries all the time. Number two, speaking from like my personal experience, it's a little bit different. Like when I hurt my arm, I went and saw one doctor. He sent me to an elbow specialist in Milwaukee, and then that elbow specialist in Milwaukee,
Or as the Native Americans would say, Milwaukee.
yeah.
Continue.
And then the elbow specialist in Milwaukee, actually sent me to the Brewers doctor.
Milwaukee.
yeah. He sent me to the Brewers doctor, and that guy, like, the Brewers doctor straight up told me, he was like, listen, man, he was like, yeah, if you were making millions of dollars, we would do the surgery and we'd have you good to go. He's like, the problem is that your UCL is torn enough that you won't be able to throw a baseball the same anymore.
Damn.
But it's not, he's like, it's not torn so bad to the point where we have to do the surgery. He was like, you're just never going to be the same until it tears completely. And he's like, and I can't do the surgery until it's torn completely because it doesn't make sense because you're not making millions of dollars to do it. And I was like, that's fair. He's like, so I would hang it up. So that's why I didn't play my senior year baseball. And I'd hang him up early. So, like, it's a little different. Like, for $1 million athletes, like, these guys are going to have the best surgeons working on their arms.
And the best steroids and HGH known to man.
Exactly, right.
And you know what, dude, Big Ben, you know what I'm saying, with his rapist ass, right? In quarantine, he's probably juicing than the motherfucker. Because there's not a doctor in sight. So you know what I'm saying? You know what? I'm putting Big Ben on my watch list right now.
Dude, I'm telling you, he's gonna be chilling. He'll be rusty at first, because like once you get a UCL surgery, like part of your rehab is you pretty much have to relearn and re-strengthen all the muscles in your arm. But then after you do that, man, after you're kicking it, I mean, he's got plenty of time to recover too. Usually a UCL injury recovery time is 9 to 12 months. He's got time, man, and he's doing nothing but fucking working right now.
I'm so upset that I attacked the Tommy John aspect, not knowing that you actually personally know this, and you fucking rebutted the fuck out of my shit. You fucking shitted on me in the NFL roast. I forget that you actually created the segment. I'm like, damn, I went on him incorrectly. I should have said something about James Conner or some shit, and like, you know what I mean? Like, how do we feel about the run game and the offensive line? And damn it. But yeah.
I did have a question about that though, the Tommy John surgery and everything.
Yeah.
Because Big Ben is known for not really.
Hey, hold on real quick, fellas. Wax poetic. You guys handle it. I'll be back in 20 seconds. Handle.
I was just wondering, Big Ben's not really known as like a off-season workhorse. How do you think, like, because I assume this injury is something you have to like keep working on. How do you think that's going to affect like this surgery and him getting back to where he needs to be?
Well, so the biggest thing, honestly, being that you have to look at it from, like, his perspective. And it's tough because, obviously, none of us are making millions of dollars throwing a football around. But, like, to look at it from his perspective would be this. At the end of the day, he has to provide for his family. It's no different than you or I going to work, except at this point, he has to rehab himself. He has two options. His family could probably live just fine with all of the money the Steelers have paid him. But at the end of the day, if you as an athlete still have that drive and that passion for the sport, which he does, Big Ben might not, work crazy hard. He's not known for that in the offseason. He's more of a playbook type of guy where he looks things over in the offseason on the playbook. He starts getting in the swing of things, 2 months before training camp, kind of. He starts, like, really hitting it hard again. Until then, he's kind of just periodically lifting and stuff, and that's how he is. And it's been successful throughout his career. But the thing that you have to realize is that he doesn't have an option now. Like, it's you either want to play and you're going to bust your ass and get that muscle memory back, get those muscles going again and firing. And all those small twitch muscles, you got to get them going again because those things shut down and those things lose progressiveness.
Yeah.
Or you just got to sit back and be like, you know what? I'm just going to hang it up. And if he's making the choice to get the surgery and he's working right now, then he's already chose his path. He's going to fucking go down it and he's going to bust his ass. And if not, he's going to hang it up after this year.
That might be that fire under his ass too, to be honest. How there's always like those stories, like what was them, the motivational stories, like, I had to, in my old ass years, I had to goddamn climb back up after Tommy John and during the COVID where I had to rehab on my own. Cause remember Big Ben, he did make a statement. And what's funny too is remember BWB, we did our episode. And then the day after we did our episode, Big Ben, he shaved the beard off. And he said, I'm only going to shave the beard when I'm ready to throw. And then he shaves the beard and he has video of him throwing. Right?
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, this motherfucking rapist is back at it. You know what I mean?
He's ready to go, dude. He's ready to go. You have to realize, too, like, Big Ben is in a position where, essentially, Le'Veon Bell, for an example, right? So the run game was absolutely incredible with Le'Veon Bell.
It was a gem.
Exactly, dude. And part of it is to attribute, well, a good majority of it is
The line.
to attribute the fact that our offensive line was good. But at the end of the day,
shout out to Villanueva. Love him.
Oh, yeah, he's a fucking G, dude.
Yeah. And G stands for Jim.
But at the end of the day, Le'Veon Bell doesn't have those holes if the Steelers can't throw the ball the way they do, right? So Le'Veon Bell wouldn't have those same holes because you'd be seeing a lot more guys in the box consistently.
Exactly. Because he had AB to take the top off too, you know what I mean?
Exactly, right? So you're in a position now where, like, Big Ben has low-key has always been one of those guys that actually has more of the weight on his shoulders than people realize. Like, when
you ain't lying. You ain't
What?
lying. No, you ain't lying.
Yeah, so, like I think that's going to drive him a lot, too. Like, he sat back and he watched Duck Hodges and Mason Rudolph throw fucking beach balls around the yard last year. Like, that
Medicine balls even.
Yeah, dude, exactly, right? Like, they were fucking ugly. And actually, Big Ben's, like, dropped weight even already, too. Like, he looks like, physically, he looks in better shape than he was even at the beginning of last year.
I wonder what his quarantine diet was like. You know what I mean? So Big Ben probably wasn't on the frozen pizza diet like I was. You know what I mean?
Big country strong motherfucker. He didn't have no diet, dude. Bush Light, dude, 12 ounce
IPAs. Maybe he was on a liquid diet. Oh, he was like, fuck food. He was like, pain pills and goddamn motherfucking IPAs. Just dropping weight at a phenomenal rate. No, man, you know what though? That makes me feel good about about Big Ben because Big Ben is on my radar as far as like the Matthew Staffords of the world, the Big Bens. You know, like when I'm looking at a late round quarterback, like I will take a shot at him. Same way I throw several shots at him. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. All right, well, shit. Check this out. Now that you are on deck right now, BWB, we're going to go around the horn. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And close up with some housekeeping. You know, actually,
we gotta roast the Titans.
Oh, you're right. Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on, Playmakers. We're not done just yet. We're not done just yet. You know what, BWB? I'm going to let you set this one off.
All right. Oh, man.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot. I've had a few.
So here's my position on the Titans. And I'm glad you brought this up with feeling as though my my squad might be a little bit irrelevant now. How do you feel about the fact that it was strongly proven in the AFC Championship that all you have to do is stop one fucking guy and your team is nothing? You stop Derrick Henry, who, by the way, the Titans probably aren't going to pay because the running back position isn't valued in the NFL anymore. How does that make you feel? Because without Derrick Henry, your squad is cheeks, dude.
And I will preface this, though, to BWB. I have them at a floor of 10-6 and a ceiling of 13-3, which is fucking still amazing to me because I am a truther. But it is predicated on Derrick Henry being healthy the whole way.
Yeah. So I obviously don't agree with that. Derrick Henry is a big part of our offense. I don't know the exact score, but I know that we were pretty damn close to beating the Saints in, I think, week 16 or so.
Yeah, it was the final drive. It was one of the last possessions for the Saints when they and it was a Michael Thomas touchdown, if I remember correctly.
We were one bad. I think it was it was a helmet-to-helmet hit that had our wide receiver drop the ball, and that was one blown call away from beating the Saints, and we didn't have Derrick Henry, and Derrick Henry took that week off to injury. So we
Would you
beat
think?
one of the.
Would you say, as a conspiracy theorist in this sense, that like that was the league being like, all right, let's go ahead and give this call to the Saints because we done fucked them so many times.
All right, yeah, sure.
Yeah, my version's better.
I guess they can have that call. But, I mean, it was a one-score game. We had the ball, ready to drive.
But when
and-
Derrick Henry off the field,
Yeah, Derrick Henry didn't play that game, and we almost beat a top 5 team in the NFL. So I don't think that's true. I think in the AFC Championship game, they stopped Derrick Henry early. They came back and got the lead. The Titans are historically known for not playing well down and coming back. So instead of handing the ball to Derrick Henry, they dropped back in coverage because they know we couldn't run back into the game because we were down. We had to put the ball in the air, which relied on them playing more coverage, which they would not have played if the score was tied or anything like that.
yeah, or if they had Derrick Henry there. I mean, oh, you're talking about the Chiefs game. Yeah,
The Chiefs game. They stopped Derrick Henry early. I'll give you that. But after they got a 2-possession lead, they stopped dropping back on coverage, and 5-yard runs with Derrick Henry isn't going to do it. We had to put the ball in the air, and it's really hard to throw the ball when, they're dropping damn near everyone back into coverage.
Well, okay, so here's my question then. If you think you guys can truly do it without Derrick Henry, which, I mean, is a coin flip in my opinion, I'm curious on what you think about the fact that he had, what was it? Derrick Henry had 1,540 all-purpose yards last year. You know how many yards total your team had on offense?
How many?
5,805. Derrick Henry.
Damn, that's 1/4 essentially.
Yeah, Derrick Henry accounted for roughly 20 to 25% of your offense last year alone.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. We cannot do it without Derrick Henry. But just Derrick Henry being in the game makes people have to stack the box. And when they do stack the box, that's when we can use our weapons like Jonnu Smith, A.J. Brown, Corey Davis, and even Adam Humphries to get loose.
But my point being, though, is that I guess I'm in a position where I feel as though your team's going to be the irrelevant team in the future because Derrick Henry's probably not going to get re-signed.
I disagree. I think the Titans will do everything they need to do.
So you mean Derrick Henry's going to the? You mean Derrick Henry's going to the Steelers after next year?
No. Derrick Henry is open and very loud about wanting to come back to the Titans. And the Titans
Then why didn't the
know
Titans
how important Derrick Henry is.
Well, I will say this though. If Derrick Henry, and I did say this earlier on the show, if Derrick Henry could survive, this season under the franchise tag, he will gladly play again under the second tag. You know what I mean? And
We have until
that's more
July
incentive.
15th.
That's more incentive. Okay. So maybe with the prospect of maybe bringing in a Jadeveon Clowney, if that doesn't happen by was it July 15th? Maybe they offer him a deal. Is what you're saying?
Yeah, they have until July 15th to come to a long-term agreement.
So he
They
did,
just
but he
got the
did sign it though. He did sign it upon the franchise deadline signing. You know what I mean?
Yes, and
So
doesn't
he will play under the tag. If not,
Yeah. If they don't come to an agreement, he'd play under the tag. But they have until July 15th to offer him a long-term deal, I believe, right?
yeah. I mean, I don't have. I mean, you know what? Should we patch in Commissioner Goodell? You know what I mean?
Yeah, get Big Raj on the
Let's get down to brass tacks and know what the fuck the deadlines are.
You know what? I got a couple bones I want to pick with Big Raj anyway.
Right? No. Okay, so all right, I got one for you. All right. Big Ryan Tannehill, or as I like to call him, ever since he got paid, Tannis Grill. You know what I mean? Because where I'm from, in the Bay Area, we originated the term Skrilla. When we talk about money, we call it Skrill. We call it Skrilla. And so I like to call him Tannis Grill. So now, with him getting paid, is it out of the realm of possibility that he was playing, and mind you, young Drew, what was I saying during the whole episode? When a motherfucker like Ryan Tannehill was under center, right? And every time he would throw the ball, what was he saying? 100 million, 100 million, right? Every time he would have a pass attempt, he was talking about 100 million. Bro, he got it now. Are we worried about him kicking his feet up? You know what I'm saying? And then now he's Tanner Skrill, right? He got the bag. Are we going to see a massive decline in production? Because historically, after these players in the NFL get paid, they tend to fall off after they get paid. Mind you, you already know how I feel about the Titans. I'm on the other side of the fence where I feel like he will uphold this shit. But in light of this segment, I tend to think that this motherfucker might have pulled the greatest job on you guys. He gets the bag and he might just be like, hey, Mariota, remember, hold my beer. Let me show you how I could do. I could do my best Mariota. You know what I mean? But I'm paid. Do you worry about him being paid and not fitting the bill, fitting the skrill?
That Ryan Tannehill does, if it's a deep,
Hold on, young Drew.
it's not going to be because of a lack of.
Hold on, young Drew. You're cutting in and out again. Go ahead and run that thing back.
Oh, Jesus.
No, it's all good. I just want to make sure that you're rebuttaling correctly. Yes, every time I throw a take at him, I may or may not be distorting your take. You know what I'm saying? Diabolical.
No, man. Ryan Tannehill, although he did get paid, he still has something to prove as an NFL quarterback in this league.
Okay.
People have been, criticizing the Titans for paying him over, playing a shortened season, not having the whole season to work with. And, just because he got his money, Ryan Tannehill doesn't strike me as the kind of guy to kick his feet up. He wants to show the Titans that and prove them right. He wants to show them that, they didn't make a mistake, that they made the right move and signing him for the long term.
You think it was the guy? Hungry. You think it was the guy that was taking a dump during the draft? You think it was him? Like, he was like, you know what, dude? He was, because I do all my best thinking on the throne. When I'm in the office, bro, which is the bathroom. When I'm taking a dump, I do some of my best thinking. You think it was that guy that was like, you know what, we need to pay Tannehill?
It's certainly possible, right?
Actually, I'm sorry. As far as the timeline, I think they paid him before the draft. But either way, my version's better.
Exactly. We'll stick with your version.
Yes.
But yeah, Tannehill's not the type of guy to take his money and dip out. Or kick his feet up and just rest on his morals. That man still has something to prove. People still don't view him as a franchise quarterback, and he's going to have to use this year to show the Titans they made the right decision and lead the Titans to the season that I know they can have.
And you know what? I tend to agree. I might have set up a nice. I might have set it up nice for you to spike. You know what I mean? But yeah, man. You know what? This is why we are all housed together, because we could bring on some of the most riveting analysis that we have to offer. You know what I'm saying?
I have a question, actually.
Okay.
So, if you don't think he's the type of guy to kick his feet up afterward, then how come that's exactly what he did when he got his $96 million contract with the Dolphins?
Oh, talk that shit, BWB.
Well, I don't believe that he had the weapons around him to be successful with Miami that he has here with the Titans. I think he's found a home.
Or the run game, which would go back to what BWB said initially. Like, you know what I'm saying, without Derrick Henry, do we have Tannehill getting $100 million?
Well, you remember what I told you when I was talking about Ryan Tannehill earlier? Yeah. I don't need him to play like Patrick Mahomes or Lamar Jackson. I don't need him throwing the ball, 30 times a game. I need him to make, if they stop Derrick Henry, and they get to a 3rd and 10, I just need Tannehill to make that throw to the first down, which he's shown that he can make.
Okay, well, how about this? Aside from Russell Wilson, who I fucking hate as much as I love, right? Can't stand him as much as I love him. He's one of the only quarterbacks who breaks the efficiency curse because efficiency is the hardest thing to replicate year after year. Russell Wilson seems to do that on a run first team, throwing like an average of 25 times a game. He'll be like 18 for 25 and with 4 tugs. You know what I mean? He's fucking incredible. So, Tannehill, we've seen him in the playoffs have like less than like 40 pass attempts in all 3 games that he played. So do you think that efficiency is something he could replicate throughout the season?
Yeah. He just needs to be accurate when, his number is called upon. Everybody knows his main job is going to be feeding the ball to Derrick Henry and getting him going. And then off the play action game, there's a spark.
Even better question. If, God forbid Derrick Henry goes down, because I will be looking towards him. I will be looking towards his direction in the second round in 12-team redrafts. If he's there, I would love to have Derrick Henry. With that said, if Derrick Henry goes down, do you think Ryan Tannehill can throw them into these games and be able? Because there is no more Deion Lewis there, and you guys have a rookie there now. I mean, if the game plan will change without Derrick Henry.
Definitely. Yeah.
Can Ryan Tannehill shoulder the load as a passer to backpack on BWB's take?
Yeah, I don't think, obviously we would not be as... obviously we wouldn't be as good without Derrick Henry because a lot of Ryan Tannehill's success does come from, the play action.
I respect you for that, though, because you could take the homer hat off and be real for the real fantasy playmakers out there in the world.
Yeah, but I don't think, it's not like Ryan Tannehill's a scrub, He still has weapons like A.J. Brown, Jonnu Smith, Corey Davis. He loves Adam Humphries coming in at the slot.
I
don't
love
think it's
white
crazy.
boy slot receivers, for the record.
So, I don't think it's crazy to think that...
I happen to think that reverse racism is a factor when it comes to white slot receivers because, to be a white slot receiver, bro, you're going to suffer a lot from the reverse racism, because, what I'm saying, it's predominantly... a black man's game as far as the receiver game goes. And so to be a receiver, and white, I do give props to Adam Humphries. I just want to throw that in because he is dope.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think Tannehill could, I still don't think our division is very tough. I think it's the Titans division. So even if Derrick Henry goes down, I believe in Ryan Tannehill to get us to the playoffs. He may not take us as far in the playoffs as if we did have Derrick Henry, but if Ryan Tannehill or if Derrick Henry goes down, Ryan Tannehill I think he'll get it to at least the second round of the playoffs, like last year.
I will say that's a great rebuttal. I will give you that, young Drew.
All right, I got one more question.
Yes, let's go.
So
BW.
If you don't think Ryan Tannehill, if you think he isn't a scrub, then I'm curious to hear what you think about. In his career, he's thrown 145 touchdowns. Not too bad. But he's also thrown 81 interceptions. That averaged out to 1.8 touchdowns for 1.8 touchdowns for every 1.8 touchdowns he throws an interception.
I love the numbers. Playmakers.
Okay.
Playmakers, this is why you gotta pay
curious,
attention to Blitz with Blake.
Is that the true definition of a non-scrub? Because in my mind, if I have a quarterback that throws a pick for every almost not even 2 touchdowns, that interception could be in crucial times. And a guy that turns the ball over isn't consistent in my mind, and therefore a scrub.
Okay, well, I remember last year there were multiple plays where, the interception was not Ryan Tannehill's fault. I remember there was a screen pass.
He's pointing fingers. He's pointing fingers now.
No, I remember a couple plays where, the ball was batted at the defensive line and it just got tipped up straight to, a linebacker. And I don't know how many times that happened, but it happened a couple of times. I felt like everyone can agree Ryan Tannehill looked a lot better playing for the Titans that he did with the Miami
I will
Dolphins.
say this.
He was rejuvenated.
I will say this. When he was, you know what I used to call Ryan Tannehill when he was with the Dolphins? I used to call him a poor man's Alex Smith. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yep.
Because but see though, but when BWB effortlessly called out the interception rate to touchdown rate ratio, right? I will say that, damn, that is better than a poor man's Alex Smith. That's like a blue collar Alex Smith. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah, I'd be interested to know the touchdown to interception ratio from this past year, because I feel like he was a lot more efficient and he was.
pull it up, BWB. Let's get accurate for the playmakers here.
He threw 22 touchdowns and 6 picks.
Wow, that's phenomenal. So I think that actually supports young Drew right there.
And I remember 2 of them were screen passes that we called in the red zone. I remember one distinctively against the Raiders. It got tipped up in the air and it fell right into the middle linebacker's hands.
So that
to
could
me,
be
that doesn't go
fluky.
against Tannehill.
I mean, 22 and 6 last year, but I mean, in 2018, he threw 17 touchdowns, 9 picks. That's not awful. It's not good.
But that's damn near a 50% ratio. Over. It's
But-
like 60.
Between 2012 and 2016, he didn't have a single season where he threw less than 12 interceptions.
Is it crazy to think that, maybe Ryan Tannehill feels more comfortable in the Arthur Smith offense in Tennessee, and he felt more comfortable with making the reads?
I mean, I would say with behind that line, yeah, but I mean, there is question marks with the absence now of Jack. You know what I'm saying? Jack Conklin moving on to Cleveland. So, I mean, damn, I'm hoping the time in the pocket for my man Tannis Grill. You know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, bro, these are interesting numbers to bring up. I'm loving this. Matter of fact, BWB. Anytime you do this segment on your show, I don't have to be a guest on the show, but you should definitely patch me in so I can join that segment and just shit on whoever the fuck is in there. Let me join the panel.
Yeah, dude, let's do it. I'm down.
Yeah, man. Hey, okay. I see. This was great. This is great content right here, and I love it because we're all the same gang right here. Like, this is dope. This is really awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? Okay, you know what? I almost have one more. I have one more, actually.
Shoot.
With if there was no Derrick Henry, how much do you think the replacement would be? I mean, because who's on the roster? You are our Titans. You are our Titans expert here.
Oh, Jesus.
So
Uh,
how much is that game?
But-
How much is that? It's a loaded question. How much will the game plan change if there's no Derrick Henry with the replacement running back? And is Tannehill gonna be able to get that money? Is he gonna get that Skrilla? You know what I'm saying? Is he gonna be is this gonna help or hurt his game? Ultimately, will they be able to? Do you think with your offensive coordinator, will he have a playbook for a scat back type and become more of a passing offense? Like, how do you think that's gonna look with no Derrick Henry? Should we throw everything out the window, what we went through with the schedule? Because going through the schedule, it is predicated on Derrick Henry being alive.
Yeah. Yeah, obviously Tannehill is not going to be as good without Derrick Henry. But when you looked at, when you watch the Titans play, the way we used Dion Lewis, he was more of a receiving back, more of an elusive back. And that's exactly, we lost Dion Lewis and we drafted another elusive back who's used to catching punt returns. So I'd assume the man would have some kind of hands. I haven't watched much film on him, but I would assume.
What is his name though? I want because I'm curious. I'm sorry because he's not relevant just yet.
Darrington Evans.
Darrington Evans. Yeah.
There you go. Okay, for the playmakers' sake, you know what I mean. Okay, continue.
Yeah, so it's obviously going to be a lot more pass heavy offense we're not going to be able to just run the ball down people's throats like we would with Derrick Henry. But I don't think we would abandon the run. You know, if Isaiah Wilson is as good as we believe he will be, our offensive line is still going to be good. So if we play a weaker defensive line, we can still give Darrington Evans carries behind that line. We'll obviously give Tannehill a moment to show why we gave him that much money.
The hundo?
The hundo milli. And I think we'll be fine. I mean, obviously Derrick Henry's going to hurt. We're not going to have that play action game as strong. But when you look at someone like A.J. Brown, who came off an amazing rookie season, I see him having a crazy sophomore season.
Yep.
And I'm so high on Jonnu Smith. It's crazy. I love what Jonnu Smith is doing. We can do like what we did against Houston. We can throw, if Derrick Henry goes down, we might fuck around and throw Jonnu Smith in the backfield. That's just the creativity of Arthur Smith. You don't know exactly what's going to happen. You may think you know what's going to happen. And then Darrington Evans gets tired. We throw Jonnu Smith back there for a couple carries.
Low key, is Arthur Smith perhaps the biological father of Jonnu Smith? Don't answer that. That was, that's Bogart shit. Don't answer that.
And we've shown creativity in our play call with running sweeps to A.J. Brown and, the way we use play action. And then we can still run the ball behind our line. So I think although we won't be as dangerous without Derrick Henry, I don't think it's time to jump ship and, just doubt us.
I will say, I respect you for rebuttaling everything because that was when I was put on the spot for my first NFL roast, I was just going to rebuttal everything. I didn't give a fuck. But then there was one moment when BWB effortlessly brought up the fact that my secondary is in question. I had to put the Homer hat down. I was like, God damn it. Fucking damn it.
I think it's it may be a lack of knowledge from my part. I just love the Titans so much, and I believe in everything that we're doing. So there's really not a lot you could say to where I will, back down and just,
Well, I will say this. Being fantasy analysts that we are, being sports broadcasters, whatever the fuck you want to label us, it is our duty to know every team like the back of our hand. So, you know what I'm saying? So I will have that stricken from the record when you say, my knowledge is lacking. I don't believe in that. You know what I mean? I believe in that, what you're doing right now, this should compel you to know more about your own team and every team. So if and when you're in the NFL roast, you're able to defend your team and as well as roast whatever the fuck team is bestowed upon you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, young Drew. All right, so y'all check this out. We're gonna go around the horn, and we're gonna pay some. We're gonna make sure we pay homage, and we let all the playmakers know where to find you guys. Go ahead, young Drew. Let them know.
Yeah, so you can find my personal Twitter at Andrew Blumberg. You can find the Hot Take Cold Turkey Twitter at HTCT Podcast. You can find the Hot Take Cold Turkey Instagram at Hot Take _Cold Turkey. And you can find our podcast on Spotify and Anchor. And make sure to go hit up our YouTube that has just been put out, Hot Take Cold Turkey.
Yes. BWB.
Yeah, so you guys can find me on Twitter by searching at Blitz WIT because Twitter would not let me put an H. Blitz with Blake. You can find me on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook by searching Blitz with Blake. And you can find me on YouTube by searching Blitz with Blake. TikTok's pretty fucking bland right now, but we're going to be on that posting some.
You got to start doing some dances, B. You gotta show us the blitz dance. You gotta get in a 3-point stance and just rush something. You know what I mean? And to a beat. You know what I mean? And they call it the BWB. You know what I mean?
You gotta show us the gems.
Yeah. Ooh, there you go. Bust the gem dance. You know what I mean? Yes.
Shit.
And I will say, BWB, I've been calling Twitter. They haven't picked up my phone call. I was trying to get them to get you that H. I was there saying,
Motherfuckers won't give me the H, dog.
H, give me money. Yes. And mind you, Playmakers, I will always put all the isms in the description of this video for you fine Playmakers to find all these all these gems, you know what I'm saying, of content, all the hot take cold turkey isms, all the blitz with Blake isms. I'm gonna make sure you guys are able to be accessible to all that shit in the description. Gentlemen, Young Drew in particular, thank you, bro. Thank you, BWB, for letting us randomly patch you in. You know what I mean? That was fun.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It made, bro, this is a hell of an episode, man. I knew this shit was gonna be epic. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Mind you, I am egotistical enough where I feel like anything and everything I do is epic. Especially, you know, it's kind of a layup when I work with gentlemen like you guys, gems like you guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's always out the park. You know what I'm saying? I tend to like to load the bases up. You know what I'm saying? And let one of you fine gentlemen knock it out the park. You know what I mean? And I want to thank you guys. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Playmakers, you know where to find me. You know what I mean? And yeah, man, I'm gonna close this thing up. And if you guys want to wax poetic a little bit off air, you know what I mean? You guys got me. I just cracked the beer off. You know what I'm saying? I'll gladly chop it up for you guys for a little bit. But man, this was one for the books. Hey! You guys got anything else you guys want to add, actually?
Nah, I'm
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, I like that. Leave them wanting more.